you are. We're pretty much just gonna be like welcoming each other's streams. And we'll hit go live at the same time. Just let me know when we're ready.
How are we all? I've just changed my audio, so that's not great. Welcome.
Yeah, mine's not set either. I just realized.
I just realized. Well, what a great start. But welcome to episode 1 of Let's Talk About It, the things we do for love. Welcoming everyone, I'm too quiet. I'm sorry, Pop. I'm sorry. I know you were excited. There we go. That should be perfect for you. That should be perfect. But welcoming everyone. As you all know, my name is Deli 18, but I am live today with my best friend in the community, my co-host, my rock. Welcome in.
Oh, hold on now.
Come on,
Hold
Brit.
on now.
Come on, Brit. Come on.
I'm trying. Hi, good morning. My shit's so fucked right now. I wasn't ready. You guys know I'm not ever ready for life. Anyways, hi. I'm your girl Brit. What's up? we out here, dog. Like this shit. How is everybody? I'm nervous. Are you nervous?
I'm so nervous. And I've already done this once with a podcast, so but this is completely different, guys. This is completely different. And I think the first thing we're going to kick off with, and I'm going to let Brit take the reins on this, but every episode of Let's Talk About It comes with a disclaimer, and it is something we take seriously, and I'll let Brit talk about it, but it is something that, before we get into the meat and potatoes, we have to do this at the start of every episode for multiple reasons, including TOS.
Yes, absolutely, for the TOS. So this episode, and pretty much every single one that's going to follow it, comes with a trigger warning that viewer discretion is advised, and things that are talked about could be very hard to listen to. They could be hard to deal with. It may bring back some of your own trauma. Pretty much, if you need to talk to somebody, we are here, or we can offer resources of places that you can reach out to, or people that you can reach out to get assistance that you need on any of the situations that we talk about.
Love that. Yeah, so the disclaimer is there because the mission statement, I guess you would say, and the reasoning when me and Brit were talking about starting this, near enough 6 months ago we first started talking about this, didn't we? We were going to air it on OnlyFans because we didn't know whether we'd actually be able to talk about this stuff on Twitch. And we have done an abundance of research on what we can and can't talk about. And that's why we have the disclaimer at the start. But what I will say is the mission of Let's Talk About It is to have an open discussion and have an open conversation with between me and Brit, but also with our audience on conversations that we don't talk about enough. And the episode this week that we're going to kick off with is a heavy subject matter, but is incredibly important because there is a lot of toxic information out there for people to consume, unhealthy topic or unhealthy advice on sex, relationships, mental health, and we're here to create a community and a safe place where we can come together and discuss those topics. And a lot of them are going to be fun. I will say we've got the next few episodes already planned out more or less, and it's going to be incredibly fun.
Most definitely.
And a lot of the stuff is going to be light-hearted, and we are going to make jokes of serious topics as well, because don't get me wrong, me and Brit have been through some shit in our lives, and we laugh and joke about it on a regular basis. And we're gonna bring a lightheartedness to some heavy topics as well. But we're also gonna take those subjects incredibly seriously, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. So
Let's talk about it.
let's talk about it. But
Let's talk about it.
before we get into it, Bricks, I've just remembered that I forgot to say it. In both our Discords, !Discord, if you want to join, we do have
On either?
On both, yep. We have go on, what's it called? A channel?
A suggestion channel box thing.
For you to
It's in both of the Discords.
Yeah.
It's at the top.
Yeah, for you to submit your questions, topics you want to see discussed, your stories, because the story we've got today is a real life experience of a woman that is heavy. I don't know anything about it either, so you're going to get my live reaction. And I'm kind of happy that Brit's going to take the reins on this one, because she's going to be the first one that's going to have to read this and kind of run the show. And I just get to sit back and listen to the story and then react. So, please.
Oh my god, no. My mother just texted me and she said, "We love you, we're watching." Alright, well.
Hi, Brit's mom.
Funny.
Hi, Brit's mom.
And dad.
Damn it. No,
Go on.
No.
Go on, dumbass.
No, because I know he's got a gun.
I mean, you're all the way in the UK, bro.
Oh, that's true. Brit's mom, !IG in my chat. I answer all my DMs.
You did not. I can't even reciprocate that because you don't have a dad.
I don't have a dad.
Oh, yeah. I'll go throw that one at you. Love you.
Yeah, no. So let's talk about it. I don't have a dad. I don't have a dad.
My mom said, "Hi, Deli, we're watching." Oh my god, stop right now. You fucking dumbass. Oh shit.
So for both
do y'all see what I have to deal with?
So for both our chats, just so you know, we have got moderators, we have got people in there. We will be referencing the chat throughout. So I do see everyone in the chat right now. We will be talking to you all. We will be discussing things. We do want your advice. We do want your feedback, because neither of us are professionals at what we're about to do. We are learning. We are developing.
Not.
And your submissions and your opinions will matter just as much as ours, especially on the subject matter we're about to talk about. I don't know, Brit. We've not actually talked about this, but do you want to just give a quick generalization of what the topic is we're about to discuss before you get into it?
Yes. So, the topic that was submitted to me for this first episode is very heavy. It is going to lead to a lot of questions, and it's probably going to be very hard for a lot of people to hear. So I'm going to preface with that. But like we said, this is a real person's story. So first things first, I don't want to see any disrespect as far as the person. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinions, but there is a time and a place to share those. And we're not here to judge any individual person. We're here to talk about what things should be looked at. I guess it's the best I can say that. But anyways, this story pretty much gets into talking about what the title is. What would you do for the people that you love, or what the things that you do for love?
And the lengths you go to.
The links that you will go to make your partner happy or adventure into new territory. It's yeah.
So before
Are you ready for this?
Just before you get into it, so we are also we're going to cover this story, and then we also are trialing some other bits as well that are going to go throughout. So this is going to be incredibly heavy, and we're gonna talk about it at length. But then at the end, we have some topics that we want to discuss that we really want to get your opinion on as well, that are a little bit more light-hearted or serious, but that are a little bit more light-hearted and quote-unquote fun. So at the end, we do want your opinions on some of the things that we've got, and then we've got some little fun bits covering things like kinks and we want to know what kind of freaks we've got in the chat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we want to know like who we got out here. Okay.
Right, Brit.
All right. Here we go.
Shit.
All right. So I'm just going to read this word for word. And here we go. All right. So the submission that we had for the first episode is as follows. I was in a relationship with a man who was into anal. No, he didn't only want to fuck me in the ass, but he wanted me to fuck him.
Oh, well, no. One sec. We've got to stop there. Right, we're starting off heavy. Okay.
I told you.
I wasn't
I told
prepared.
you.
I was not prepared. I did not prepare for this.
Ash said so pegging. No, we'll get there. I've never felt comfortable doing it and felt huge pressure to just please him because that was the only thing that he liked to do. Very early on, he made it clear he was into it. I was like, okay, nice. I'm not going to judge, but little did I know what I got myself into.
I was not prepared. I was not prepared.
I literally told you that you weren't prepared.
No. You weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. So just because there's already a lot going on. So they got together. As you do, you discuss what each other's into. He said he was into anal. He did want to have sex with her anally, but he also wanted to be penetrated anally.
No, he did. I don't think
So
that
he
was
just
clarified. That he didn't want it with her. I think he wanted it on him. But see, you're not letting me finish because that was like just the
No, I know. Anal, the tip.
The bottom of the iceberg is way down there, like as far as the Titanic down there.
I like it though. I like
it.
I like it. The tip though, the tip. But it wasn't just a tip.
It was not just a tip. Anyway, so on to the next paragraph. When I say that he liked it big, I mean big. Coca-Cola can is small compared to the dildos that he wanted me to use on him. If you need a proof pic, I got you. I did not ask for that because I didn't need it. My mind was enough.
I'm uncomfortable.
But no matter how much he loved those dildos, he loved my hands more. He was begging me to fist him every fucking time. I told you weren't ready for this.
One second. No. We need to rewind because I'm not taking it in.
I know you're not taking it in, so I'm trying to pause so that you can process.
Right. Brit, you know me better than nearly anyone, probably better than anyone else in the community. You know I'm a freak, yeah? We've talked about this at length. Like, I am a freak. If this is making me a touch uncomfortable, that means it's wild. So,
my chat's telling you to breathe.
I'm trying. I'm trying. Right, okay. So, because I'm taking notes because we're going to unpack all this. So, and for the chat's benefit as well, I'm just trying to run it back as well. So, he made no indication that he wanted to penetrate her anally. It was about him in this situation. And not just because I know people that might like a finger, they might like the ass like massage.
Well, I mean like, to be fair, the male's G-spot is in there.
It might be. I'm never going to find out.
You're never going to find out.
Nope. But not only did he want penetrating anally, he wanted that shit destroyed. And I've watched gaping on Pornhub, so I know what that shit looks like. That is not a pretty sight. But he wanted.
Shall I continue?
No.
Too bad. I'm gonna.
So yeah, I'm just gonna write big dildos. That's all I'm gonna write down. Okay. But he wanted fisting. We missed that. He wanted fisting.
Yes. That's his kink.
Just to
I'm just,
reference,
I'm just gonna I'm gonna continue the story
I'm gonna take a breath.
that
I'm gonna
this
take a breath.
person you breathe. I'm gonna continue the story that this person sent to me. Did you know that there is a quite set of big veins in the large intestines that feel a bit hard and you can feel the heartbeat through way too well? That made my skin crawl every time. Also, to give you something nice to imagine, if you wonder what it feels like, it's like sticking your hand into a warm cup of jelly. One time, I just wasn't feeling like doing it at all, but he had been asking for weeks at this point, and I knew I had to do it to get some peace for the next few weeks. The
No.
sessions
Just
were always 1 to 3 hours long, and you can imagine how uncomfortable that is when you don't want to do it and you're not getting anything out of it. There I was, hand up his ass, and I was nearly gagging. I zoned out and I dealt with it.
can you say that all again? And I'm not even exaggerating. I tuned out when like you don't need to read the bit about the intestines and the veins, but the bit where she said she didn't get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
How did that sentence start?
The sessions were always 1 to 3 hours long.
And I can fuck, but for 1 to 3 hours, he was being fisted in the ass.
What up, Rico? Thanks for coming in.
We are-
It's starting off crazy today. Oh my god, Ash.
I know Zero just said in my chat. It actually sounds like someone she knows. Who the fuck?
It was
do you
Ash.
know? 100% Ash.
Ash, 100%. No doubts. Okay, anyways, I lost all interest in sex and in him after a while. Before you ask, nope, he never did anything I wanted or needed. He even fell asleep while he was fingering me, never kissed or held my hand, rarely hugged me. This relationship lasted over 7 years. Afterwards, I felt used and undesirable. I'm not a person who likes being the dominating one, and being forced to take that role every time and seeing this man on all fours, dildo in his ass, just didn't do it for me. The only shitty part, pun intended, is that I still have to live with him and I can't really move on because rent is super expensive and I can't afford to move away. Deli's done. I broke him.
No, you really have. I've just broken my light as well. We're gonna have to go back over this multiple times because is the story over?
That's it for the story.
Right. I've not even taken notes because I'm so I'm actually like, this isn't me exaggerating. This is my honest response to this because
I know, because thankfully for you, the person that submitted this story referenced questions and notes for themselves to put in here. So you are safe on the questions and notes part because that person took the liberty of taking those for you.
I'm gonna need a second.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Right. So
you remember how I said at the beginning, viewer discretion is advised? Because
it's really advised.
These stories may be hard to hear. I'm into it.
It's really advised.
I'm sorry.
Because as much as I'm like kind of some people may find my reaction funny right now. The actual situation isn't funny at all. Because we'll get into it. So many breaches of TOS. Because the subject matter we're really going to discuss isn't what he's into, though we will discuss that because fuck. But
we'll eventually discuss that.
But this is a woman who was not only uncomfortable with what was happening, she wasn't into it. She clearly wasn't being satisfied. And these are two adults, so you can read when a woman's into something.
Mm-hmm.
I've had sex with women and them not been into what we're doing, as in like they wanted to change it up.
I never knew that you fucked women. I always thought it was dudes this whole time.
And
I'm proud of you.
I mean, thank you.
You're welcome.
But you can tell when a woman wants to change things up in the bedroom. You can be like
Oh yeah.
you might be like doing something with a woman, and you're like, you can in your head you go, she's not enjoying this. I'm going to switch it up, or I'll ask her, oh, what do you want to do? You know. Um,
Your job though with your partner is not only to like love them and be with them, it is to be able. I'm not saying that you should always be able to pick up on social cues, but in a situation like that, when you guys are intimate, you should be able to see and know your partner well enough to see that they're not comfortable or they're not okay with something, and your job to respect your partner is to talk to them about those things and, you know, communicate. That's
and they were together for 7 years. So you know what you're like. You're married, Brit. You've been with your husband like 10 plus years, correct?
yeah. We've been together for a while, yeah.
Yeah. So you know exactly what you need to do to get him off. You know exactly what you need to do to get in the mood. So he
Mhm.
knows. He knows this woman did not want to fist him in the booty.
Yep.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay.
All right, yeah, let's talk about it.
Right. So
Okay, so before you go on, I have two comments that have been sent to me. Have an open mind that this is his kink and he wants it big.
fine.
They do have fake hands for this.
Seen him.
We all know that they have those. If you've been to any sex shop, you've seen them. Not Ash. They said they said the catchphrase. They said the catchphrase. Okay. Um, the other comment that I got was, it is very shocking because a lot of people just don't expect this hardcore kink. I don't think she should have ever had to done things that she wasn't comfortable with. She should have voiced her opinion that that's not what she wanted to do and maybe find someone that could. Now, on my opinion, to unpack that, um, we don't know whether or not she voiced her opinion to start
No.
with or not. And that's okay. I'm sure at some point she did, but if she didn't feel that she could, I just don't feel that that relationship was very healthy.
No.
If you don't feel that you can voice what you are okay with and what you're not okay with, and if your partner doesn't recognize what you are and aren't okay with. Yeah, like Ash said, they were together for 7 years.
Yeah. They had
There's a
it.
99% chance she probably said something along those times that, she wasn't okay. Or, I mean, read the room.
Yeah. I'd say read the room. I've been with. It's quite funny because I had this conversation today. I've been with women who are married who have never got off, and they've never told their husband that they've never got off. Like they've faked it for the last like 10 years they've been together. I think the problem is, and this is probably a subject matter for another time, but in society as a whole, women are taught almost conditioned to be somewhat submissive in the bedroom,
Yes.
in a general scope, and a man is taught to be more dominant in the bedroom. That's not the case completely, but generally, you watch any sort of like traditional pornography, the man's a dominant one, the woman's a submissive one. So a lot of the time, what I think happens in relationships is a woman doesn't communicate and a man doesn't ask.
I agree.
So in this relationship, what it could be is two people, and this I don't know these individuals, so it's just me guessing, but it could
Hmm.
be that both these people were didn't communicate sexually. They didn't
Yeah.
voice what each other wanted. He voiced that he wanted to be
Well,
fisted in the ass,
well, I did.
but
I did get a message from the
yeah,
person that submitted the story, and they said, for me, it was hard to say that I was uncomfortable. The relationship before this was abusive, so I had no idea that this wasn't normal.
so the relationship before this one was abusive.
Yes.
So
Um, and also I have a. It's never okay to take one for the team couples in relationships. You really need to understand each other.
And what I will say before we really unpack it, because I really want to unpack this start to finish, including how the fuck do you come? Yeah, we'll discuss it.
Okay,
But
so I'm going to just preface for everyone here that Deli is very much stuck on this man, not on a judgment of this woman and anything that she may have done, but he is stuck on this man as a man. I'm going to leave that there while he unpacks what he needs to unpack.
so in relationships as a whole, and again we'll discuss this at length another time. But there are things you do in the bedroom that you may not particularly be into, but it's understood in your relationship that like you do this for your significant other. Like just off the top of my head, things I've done. I'm not into toes, but I've been with women who love having their toes sucked. So I'd be sucking some toes for her because I'm enjoying the fact she's enjoying herself. The
Yeah.
difference in this dynamic is she clearly wasn't enjoying herself. She clearly didn't like what she was doing, but was doing it for him.
Yes.
That is not okay because if you're doing something for your significant other, like say you don't like enjoying sucking dick, but what you enjoy is seeing your man getting off. She wasn't enjoying a single part of this. That is why it's not okay
Yeah.
already.
So I had a question from Ash. Did they ever have sex? I remember that she said she never got off, but did they even have sex? That was not clarified to me, but in what the story has said, there was no reciprocation of things that she liked as far as anything from what it appears.
Well, I mean, the man fell asleep with his fingers inside her. That tells me all I need to know.
Yeah.
He had absolutely zero interest in this woman getting off. He had zero interest in her in what she needed sexually. The only interest he had was him getting off, which
Yeah.
happens far too much in relationships. Happens
Yes,
far
very
too
much
much.
so.
Like I one second, Brit. Sorry, just to get off topic. At no point did I say I like feet in my mouth. I said a female I was involved with enjoyed having her toes sucked. So I'm someone who gets off on my significant other getting off. So that's one of my kinks. So if a woman says I love having my toes sucked, believe me now, I'm a deep throat those toes.
So I did get another message from the person that submitted the story. They said, yes, we had sex a few times. It was odd. He took a lot of stuff from porn. It hurt. It wasn't nice. And he did it even when I said no.
Fuck! Okay, right, this is a piece of shit. No judgment. Um, right, okay. Right, okay, we need to unpack this. We need to unpack this because there is so much wrong here. There is so much wrong. That is dark. Okay. Right, okay. Okay. Right. So
Ready to unpack this?
let's unpack it. So at some point,
Okay, so I do have questions and topics from the person that submitted this story. So, you just let me know when you're ready for those.
yeah. So the first thing that I think is the biggest giveaway and makes it so wrong is at some point there was a conversation about what each other was into. Because
Mhm.
if he said not only does he like anal, receiving anal, but he likes, yeah,
Elbow deep.
likes gaping.
Hmm.
That means at some point she also communicated what she was into, or at least had the opportunity to.
Yes, Mike. Somebody did submit this.
Yeah, this is someone that's submitted this, so this is a no.
This is a real,
This is live.
real person's story.
Yeah, so this is a real person's story, and this is live. Just someone just asked in the chat. So she had an opportunity and to communicate what each other wanted, which means he either opened up about it but showed absolutely zero interest in her. So that already is a red flag
Yeah, in my opinion, yes.
because
But not everybody sees this. Another message from the person that submitted said, so basically I had no way to say no. he would just pressure me until I agreed, or a few times he just fucked me until I was going to sleep. One
What?
time he just fucked me in the ass and came even when I said many times not to do it.
Oh fuck.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Okay. Right.
So I'm just going to interject into this. First of all, I very much feel for this person just because I know that rent prices, no matter where you live, are ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
And it really sucks not being able to pull yourself out of a situation by yourself. But this person knows, and we have talked, there are options. There are organizations that are out there to help women because at the end of the day, this is 100% not okay. This is abusive.
No, no,
This is
no.
not a healthy relationship.
I don't know if we're allowed to say the word, but it begins with
Hmm.
R, and it 100%
Yep.
is. 100% is. The minute anyone,
Hmm.
the minute anyone says no, and 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 shows resistance of any sort, everything stops.
100%.
Like, and that goes for any facet of life, but especially sexually. The minute an individual, man or woman, um, because I know men who have definitely been in that situation, where they
Hmm.
didn't want to do things. Um, everything stops. Everything stops. So if at any point you're thinking, and it sounds like this woman at multiple times while I've been reading the story kind of um, indicates that she wasn't comfortable, everything should have stopped, and there should have been an open discussion. Because I've been in situations where um, a woman has gone, I don't know if I'm into that, and then what you do is that's where you communicate. Okay, you're not into that. Okay, that's cool. We can try something else. Like we can
Or,
do.
or the person, you. That's at that point in my head, and if a person says like, if your partner tells you I'm not into that, there's two ways that you can handle that: shut it down, or you can have a conversation.
Yeah,
Have you ever done it? If you did, what was done? I want to talk about it and find out how it was done and see if, you know, we can come to a compromise of trying it and seeing if maybe with a different person that you trust or something that it is different.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Communication is key in every part of a relationship, but especially sex, because sex can really
and
make or break a relationship. Can.
100%, 100%. Um, she just said that she thought it was normal and she just dealt with it.
Yeah, but this is a woman who has dealt with what sounds like sexual violence before, and
Yes.
and I was, and I'm naming no names, and this was so long ago that I feel comfortable enough that I can say it. I was with a woman years and years ago who was a victim of child abuse, like,
Hmm.
and I'm talking vicious child abuse. I'm not just talking like systemic years.
Yeah.
They behave a certain type of way, and the problem is this isn't, even though I'm referencing that, I've known other women, been with other women that have been victims of sexual violence, and just a quick stat: 500,000 women get raped or are sexually assaulted every year in the US alone. So this is why it's so important, and as a man, I'm going to speak about this. This is why, as men, I do feel a little bit of an obligation that we have to take the lead on starting those communications, because that is one in 30 every year in the US are victims of
So
sexual violence or rape. So I do feel like at the start of a relationship, you have to have those open dialogues about what a woman is comfortable with as a man. And I'm only speaking from a male perspective. Brit will cover the female perspective. But as a man, when I have sex with a woman, I will always, and it doesn't have to be clinical, but in a flirtatious way, I'll go, "Oh, what are you into? Like, what have you done before?" Blah blah blah. You have those kind of flirty conversations where you start talking about having sex with each other, and during those conversations, you can gauge what a woman is comfortable with and what she's not comfortable with. This woman was a victim of sexual violence before she met this man. he had a certain amount of obligation. If he's comfortable enough to go, I want to get fucked in the ass, he's comfortable enough to ask the woman, what are you into? What are you not into? What are your no-nos? I'll always ask a woman, and this is no, I'm not just saying it to be politically correct on this platform. As as a man, I always ask a woman, what are the no-goes? Like,
Hmm.
what is it? If a woman says, I don't do any ass play, then I'm not going to eat her ass.
Well, in my opinion, and as a woman, and I know that it really depends on your upbringing, in my opinion. I grew up in a household that if I had questions about anything, whether it be sexual, whether it just be life, I was freely able to speak with my parents and ask questions and get the answers that were truth and what I needed. I didn't have to go ask friends. I didn't have to go out there and try to Google anything. I was, and that was, because I'm older than Google, I had to wait for that.
I had to wait for that. It's funny.
I had to wait for that. We had to wait for that whole internet thing. Like I couldn't just unhook the phone and plug it up. I had to wait. But it was easy, it was readily available. I could go to my mother or my father and be like, "Hey, I heard this today and I don't know what it means. Can we talk about it?" And there was no judgment. It was just, first of all, as a parent, my parents were like, "Okay, where did you hear this?" And then secondly, it was followed with education of what they knew, and if they didn't know, it was found out and explained to me so that I was an understanding of what I was curious about.
Yeah.
So I really think that this whole next thing that I'm going to be talking about definitely relies on how you were raised and what you grew up in. But as a woman, you have a responsibility to speak up to what you're comfortable with and what you want. I know there are so many cases that women feel like they should be seen and not heard, and that just falls back to years ago. There it is 2024. We are to be heard and seen. And I feel that every woman should be okay enough in a relationship, or even if it's just a hookup, to say what you are and aren't comfortable with.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I know there are monsters out there. And there's so much stigma against speaking up or whatever, like, and it falls into, the female may feel embarrassed, they may feel like it's normal or that it's their fault, but at the end of the day, it is never your fucking fault. I don't care what you wore, I don't care what you said. If you were not okay with it and you said that and that person continued, it is not okay.
Yep. Yeah. No, I wanna just, yeah, yeah. You're talking right now. Yeah. No, no. It's never okay. And I
And on
think,
to top that though, it's also like, it doesn't mean like at the very beginning. Like you could be in the very middle of having sex and change your mind and say,
yeah.
"I'm not okay with this." That should stop it. If you're not having a good time and you're uncomfortable, that should be respected on both ends, whether it be a male saying it or a female saying it, because this doesn't just happen to females. Like it happens to men too. It's just not as widely talked about, especially because the way that our culture has been and everybody has been over the past years, if a man says that they've been raped, every other guy is like, "I don't know why you're bitching. Like, you got pussy."
Yeah. No, I've been there. I've been there.
And that's literally what is said, like if your buddy was it, not you specifically, but like majority of people before this was more widely talked about, if your buddy came up and was like, "Yeah, I got R-worded," you're just like, "Oh, I mean, you got pussy, bro." Like,
Yeah. What you gonna say?
I've seen that. Why are you complaining? But
No.
it's not that. It's the same as a female coming to you and saying like, "I wasn't comfortable." I
No.
said no. It's the same exact thing, and it's just because of the gender role,
Yep.
it's discarded,
Yeah.
and it's shitty.
So we were conditioned. It's still like that now. I've definitely been in situations like that. I've definitely been groped by women that I didn't want groping by. I've yeah, I've been in all kinds of situations. I'm sure later down the line, I don't want to talk about it right now, but I'm sure later down the line we'll discuss. But the the problem in this situation we're talking about is it was obviously pretty clear that
Yeah.
she made numerous attempts to either subliminally or literally communicate to this
Hmm.
guy that she was not okay with what was happening. Um, I want to start at the beginning though. So we've touched on the fact that he was more than comfortable to discuss what he wanted,
Hmm.
but apparently he didn't take into consideration any part of what she's into, and not just not what she's not into, but also whether she was into what he's into. You know, if I say to a woman that I'm into uh, rope play, handcuffing, BDSM, and she's
Thank
like,
you.
and she says I'm not into it, then we're not going to do it. And what typically happens in those situations is the woman or the man in the situation will like, no, we'll try it, but I don't want to do like the whole thing. I want to, let's start off with just some handcuffing, not the rope shit, or let's start off
Hmm.
with a little bit of choking, and see if I'm into it.
Hmm.
I was just as a frame of reference. I was with a woman who never tried, as we all know, Deli's into CNC. Shock. But I was with a woman who had never tried that. She was like, "Oh,
Hmm.
let's try it." She loved it. It was now her thing, and I'm guessing still is now her thing. But that's where the communication aspect comes in. In this situation, he said, I want fisting in the ass, and I don't care whether you like it or not. You're gonna do it."
Yeah.
That
And like I know there's going to be a lot of judgment towards this woman, but you got to keep in mind it really does depend on how you were raised and how you lived your life up until the point of something happening. You know, everybody now is like, "Oh, I'm a strong independent woman." But like, were you that same strong independent woman 7 years ago? Cuz I can 100% say that I was not the person that I am now years ago. I didn't have the confidence that I have now. I didn't have the outer shell of being a fucking asshole and standing up for myself then that I have now. Like, and that's one of those things that you got to look at. There's so many different variables in people's situations, so you can't really judge on it. Um, I
no,
also got another message from this person that
okay,
she said that trying to push someone double your size off of you also makes a challenge,
yep,
and he kept going and going, and the first time he just kind of fell on her lap and told her to do it. And putting myself in her shoes as someone that came from abusive relationships, you don't really I don't want to speak for her, but you don't really feel like you have a place to say no or say that you're uncomfortable with something if you've come from trauma and abuse.
no, no, no. Like I say, having been with someone who was a victim of child abuse, one of the things, and I was young. I'm talking, I was like between the ages of 18 and 20, maybe. Um, One of the things that you learn very quickly is that people who have suffered that before are very sexually submissive anyway, because when you've been sexually abused, your go-to trigger is just to go numb and just deal with it, get it over and done with. And that's what I noticed very quickly in that relationship is that
Hmm.
that woman was so quick to just satisfy me and get it over and
And
done
get it over
with.
with.
So then you have to open those lines of communication and unlock those doors and make that individual feel safe, comfortable, and at ease sexually. So then they can start to unlock themselves and realize that that isn't the norm.
Hmm.
And what this guy did is almost exploit the fact that she was already a victim. And I don't mean that to downplay her as an individual. I just mean if you've been a victim of any sort of violence, sexual or otherwise, you are a victim. It doesn't mean that you're not
Mm.
strong, but it means when you're put in a situation, you know how to cope with it because you've already had to suffer it. And it's so unfortunate that she's having to relive this. It's even more fucking crazy that she's still having to live with this piece of shit. Respectfully,
Yeah.
I don't know him, but everything I've heard,
Yeah.
he's a pain.
I definitely agree with that. And just because me being the person that I am, I will most definitely be talking more to this person and seeing if there's anything that we as a community can do to maybe help alleviate that. And I know that's probably like really big shoes for me to try to put on, especially like we're not like a huge community, but we are a very tight knit, loving community. And I feel like if there's anything that any of us can do to help, and this person that submitted this has an idea of that, I would like to explore that and see what we can do if there is anything.
I think the first steps we can do, and I think we kind of talked about it at the start of this, but also just to reiterate, is what we're doing right now is building a safe space where people will, where I mean, first off, just letting that person know that that isn't okay. It isn't normal, and that sexually and relationship wise, they deserve so much more.
Thank you
And
so much, Ash, for posting that
yeah,
for the
it's just done
UK
it.
line.
It's just done it in mine. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's yeah. That they deserve so much more, and that their next encounter, they should demand more because you shouldn't settle for anything in a relationship. There is
100%.
there is no need ever to settle in a relationship, emotionally, sexually, affectionately, and any part of a relationship you should not settle for. You should always demand the most from the person you're with because if that's the right person, they'll give you that.
I feel like so many people forget the goal of dating and relationships, that everybody just settles, but like it's the fact that there's so many people that just get rid of the bigger picture of everything, because the big picture of dating and relationships is to find the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, the person that gets you, respects you, that you communicate with well. You want a person that ticks all of those boxes. And I'm not there's so many people that I see that are like second date, they didn't tick all those boxes. You It's this, just look at yourself, like, and look at your surroundings, you which trying to put this into the words and it's just not coming out. Um when you're with someone, you're not going to completely open up all of your doors
No,
at once.
no,
You're going to slowly open those doors.
yeah,
And all of those come with conversation and time.
yeah.
So you really do have to make sure that you're in a solid relationship where you feel freely to communicate, and that person also feels that they can freely communicate what their needs are and what their wants are. And that lies not only sexually and in the bedroom, that lies with all of the aspects of your day-to-day life and living, as far as what you're comfortable with and how you want to live your future.
No, no, you've smashed it. Yeah, yeah. Too often, and it's a problem, I guess, with society as a whole right now with social media, I guess. But yeah,
Mm.
the bit that we always come back to, which you've said, and I'm just going to reiterate, is learning to communicate. During a relationship, day I would say between day 1 and 10, the only thing you should be learning is, can I communicate with this person?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the biggest thing. Because if you can communicate with that person, everything in your relationship can be fixed. When you're
Well, there's
feeling low, you can communicate. When you need sex or something different in the bedroom, you can communicate it. When you need anything, you know you're comfortable enough that I can approach this person and say, I'm not okay with this, or I need this, and they will talk to you about it.
well, there's so many words. They're gone. There's so many there's so many things that are out there that are like, oh, communication is key, and like there's so many people that just like look past that, but it really is. Like if you cannot communicate health in a healthy way, if you can't communicate in a healthy way with the person that in anybody, whether it be a friend or anything, it's not a solid relationship
No.
because communication makes the world of difference for everything. And like if you think about it, even outside of relationships, just putting it in a way that everybody should be able to understand. Any friendship that you've had that has gone a negative way, or you guys have gotten into a fight, or whatever the case may be, if you guys would have sat down and communicated, you probably would have found out that there was some sort of issue that each person was feeling differently about, and you probably could have come to a compromise
Yeah, 100%.
and worked through it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same in a relationship.
All my relationships, every single one's failed. But also, uh, it's always been a breakdown of communication. It's always been we didn't talk about something, we let something stew, we let something fester, and that goes for sex too. And to get back to the story, the fact that lasted 7 years, because that's what I've just been thinking about, is that went on for 7 years. I mean, that guy got fisted in the ass a whole bunch. But
Yeah.
sorry. Anyway,
He's very hung on that.
it's just crazy. It's crazy. I knew guys were into it, and 100 like there's a kink for everything, but Poppy fucking laughing.
Well, I think you need to get past the shock factor because yes, it's wild for you, but for other people, it is their normal.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I mean,
And it's okay. It's okay that it's not your thing. And same for everyone else that's listening. It is okay if it's
and
not
it's
your
okay
thing.
that it's his thing. It's okay that it's his thing. It's okay that it's his thing. 100%.
And now at the end of the day, everybody watching knows that me and Deli are 100% fucking shit talking fuckers.
Yeah.
Like we are going to make a joke about something, and it is extremely hard for both of us to be very serious about this, but we want to be, but we also want to add in that comedic relief because that is who we are. And we want to keep it lighthearted, but we want to make it to where it can be talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. Because as two
Yeah.
people who and Brit's going to talk about her trauma at some point, and she has talked about it on my stream before and on her own, some of the shit she's been through, and someone like myself who has been through 5+ years of therapy and struggles with multiple mental health issues on a daily basis. My coping method, and I know a lot of people's is, and Brit's is too, is to go to humour, because you have to be able to. And I'm not telling people they have to deal with it this way, but I believe a key to dealing with your shit is to make it not a big issue in your head. Understand it, get comfortable with it.
I've been told by the person not to cut you off, but please feel free to laugh at it. I don't mind. You're doing great.
Well, I appreciate that because it's fucking wild that you had to go elbow deep like you were impregnating a cow on a fucking weekly basis. I'm glad I could make that joke now.
Well, since we're allowed now and I don't have to be as serious, I almost pissed myself at Ash saying that it was like full on Muppets in here.
I mean, I have puppeted a woman before. If anyone knows what puppeting is, it is a kink. And it's you put up and then you do this and you have to make a puppet. Just putting that out there.
Anyways, back to what we were talking about.
Back to the topic. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Ash just went Deli, stop. Back to the topic. So the fact that in 7 years she had him fall asleep on her, have sex with her unconsensually. At what point does an individual have to get to where you don't understand that's not okay? What is it? And this is a question I'm asking the chat, and I'm asking Brit for her opinion. But at what point does an individual their humanity think that's okay? What is it that did that individual go through trauma?
I I honestly can't even speak to that because I've never had to experience that. I am lucky to be in a very good relationship that my partner and me communicate very well, and he reads me like an open fucking book, regardless of the fact of me being an open book. I mean, it's hard for me to speak on that in any situation that I could fully grasp,
Well,
just
so
because.
the reason I ask this is he has R worded this woman 100%. That is what it is.
Hmm.
He had unconsensual sex with this woman in multiple ways consistently. So the only thing that I can think makes an individual feel comfortable enough to do with that is he must he must have gone through some shit himself to think that's
Oh,
okay
for
to do.
sure.
To think that's okay to do. And I don't know if the
In my
chat agrees.
opinion, and this is just speculation, is that this dude has probably found out that he's very much into this, but every time that he's voiced that, it has been rejected. And I feel that he's just kind of resorted to what he does now.
Yeah, so Ash said in terms of thinking this guy must have gone through things, he said he must be pretty tapped and selfish. Some people are not just fully there. Yeah, and that is an aspect. The reason that I reference that is you see a lot in documentaries and people who have gone through it, and I've done a lot of research into it because I'm someone who and I don't mind saying I was and me and Brit have talked about it, so she knows my story to an extent. But I was someone who was sexually active from a very inappropriate age, and
Hmm.
that does something to an individual. Um, and I've dealt with a lot of people who've been victims of sexual violence at a very young age. And what tends to happen is when you get exposed to sex very early on in life, traditional sex isn't quite enough. You tend to find with people who go through sexual violence, sexual exploitation, and are exposed to sex very early on, is that they develop a little bit of a numbness to how individuals feel, and you have to educate yourself and you have to unlearn certain
Hmm.
behaviors. So the only reason I reference that is this sounds like a man who has unresolved traumas.
Yes.
Because no man, and I might be completely out of whack, and this is just my opinion. No man hears a woman say no and pull away and try and make things stop, and then continues. And that's only my frame of reference. So that's just my opinion.
Well, also on top of that, even if you guys aren't in a relationship and you've just spent a week talking, you can tell when a person is uncomfortable in any situation. I literally have a friend that I've made through Rust that I've been playing, and this person, we have never met. We have never FaceTimed, nothing. And I mean, a lot of us know, like, you have a lot of friends that you have never physically been in a room with, but you've sat there and talked to them for hours on end. And I'll say, like, maybe a month of us knowing each other, we were literally sitting in a voice chat. Somebody joined in, and I immediately picked up that her complete vibe changed. And I messaged her. I was like, "Are you okay?"
Yep.
This person joined, and you immediately completely changed who you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how long you've known a person, you can tell that without even seeing their face, but you can see it more when
Yeah.
you're in a room with them and you can see how they're reacting
Yeah.
to what the situation is going on.
Yeah. Yeah. He
And
he.
and I really just feel like a lot of people ignore that,
Especially.
and that's shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Ash said, that this man could just be a little bit tapped and incredibly selfish, and that could be the case because, I've known women, just female friends that
Hmm.
they talk about, oh, I hooked up with this guy this weekend, and like he just like he just laid there, let me do all the work, got his, and then dipped,
Hmm.
or turned over and went to sleep. So some men are just incredibly selfish, and we see it now
And
where
I've actually, go ahead.
no, you go.
I've actually had a comment that said, I actually think it has nothing to do with anything but solely due to the fact that men like power and they think they own their partner. And
No,
there's
that's
so many men out there
yeah. Oh, 100%.
that have that mindset.
He heard he. This is just from my chat from Ash. He heard no too many times, and he already wasn't right in the head. Yeah, and the thing is, I think you see as well, and it's quite funny because I was listening to a podcast, a true crime podcast today. And it was about domestic violence, and it kind of talked about the first time that a man hits a woman. Um, he's hugely apologetic and all that business, and then the second time he's now comfortable with doing it. And this could be a case of he heard her say no, did it anyway, realized that she was in his head it was okay to do,
Well, he
not
also
not
knew
being.
about her past,
Oh,
and
he
even
knew.
he knew about her past, and even this person said that she feels that he used that to his advantage.
Yeah, this guy's done that. Yeah, yeah. I'm done being PC about this guy. This guy's just a whole piece of shit. I'm done being PC about it. This guy's a whole piece of shit. And
I was ready to take a flight. I will preface, I have no relationship with this woman.
yeah,
We have not had a single conversation before this one, other than how's your day going? Hey, how are you? In
yeah,
streams and in passing. And I have literally like wanted at that moment when she told me this, I wanted to take a flight.
yeah, yeah. I will
I
say,
wanted me being the loving person that I am, I wanted to go help her and beat the shit out of this man at the same time for not being respectful to her.
yeah,
Because regardless of male or female gender role, nobody
no,
deserves that level of disrespect
no,
or
and it happens too often.
uncommunicated. Yeah.
It happens way too often. Like I said, just to reference, 500,000 women every year in the US are victims of sexual violence. It happens far too often, and it's our job as a society at some point to take responsibility and address those issues in relationships, because it happens far too often. Because this man isn't one of these statistics here. He hasn't been reported. He hasn't been held accountable for his actions.
That's the big thing. How many of those, it could be so much bigger if
My
there was actually reports
my
because there's
my
so many.
Yeah, my mom worked for an amazing charity called Crisis, because my mom's a psychologist. She's a
Mhm.
therapist, sorry, not a psychologist, therapist, and she specializes in women who have suffered domestic and sexual violence. And every woman she sees is a case that wasn't reported. Like
Mhm.
she's told me numerous times, like they just don't go, because very few convictions happen, because
Mhm.
trying to prove something after the fact is incredibly hard to do.
Well,
But
on top of that, as a female, putting myself in other female shoes that I've talked to that have been through the situation, it's really a time of the essence manner as far as being able to do anything about it
yeah,
because you have so little time
yeah,
to process what you just went through, being okay with it enough to say that it's not your fault and that you want to pursue pressing charges and going to the hospital or the clinic and getting a full kit done
yeah,
of evidence. You have such a short amount of time to do that.
yeah,
But most most times, and I'm not trying to speak for this woman, but I feel in the situation that she was in, she wouldn't have reported it because from what it sounds like, she's living there and she's still living there because she cannot afford to do anything on her own. And I don't know her family friend situation and if she's able to go anywhere else. And I don't want to judge that because a lot of people don't have a family and friend support system that they can rely on to get themselves out of a situation,
No.
or they're too afraid or embarrassed to ask. But I feel that she kind of just put how she felt aside and just went completely numb and did the things that were asked of her so that she had a roof over her head, food to eat, and clothes on her back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times you see that men that are abusive in any way, shape, or form, they're still very nice when it comes to the outside world. They put on a show. They're narcissistic. They put on a show. They make it seem like everything is fine, and they do what has to be done for the house,
Mm-hmm.
but they do what they want to do.
I know women in that situation right now. I know women in
Mm-hmm.
that situation right now that do everything that's asked of them because what a lot of shitty men do, and this goes for women as well because I've known some women who are in this position as well, is they take up a position of power in the relationship and take financial responsibility for an individual. So then they believe they have access to that individual in any facet they like, and especially in a situation like this where this poor woman is having to live with this piece of shit. And she's an incredibly strong woman for being able to do it too, by the way, because a lot of people would fall apart in that situation. But it sounds like this man put himself in a position of power, knowing not only her deepest, darkest secrets, or not even darkest secrets, but most vulnerable secrets. He used that to his advantage. Then, knowing that she's pretty evidently in a position where she has to live with this man, because I'm pretty sure if she could, she would get away. Um, he's used all that to his advantage and has taken nothing but complete advantage of this woman. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in,
I
in, in,
feel as
in what
though.
in what is the most personal thing to share with someone. Everything from the process of getting naked and exposing yourself to your significant other through to the fact of
Mm-hmm.
actually having sex and the ending, which sounds like she never got the opportunity to have. All of that is you are sharing only parts of yourself that a tiny percentage of people that come into contact with you get to experience. So to exploit that and use that to your advantage and um, not give back in any way is absolutely fucking awful and traumatic and something that someone will carry with them for the rest of their life. And it's so
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate that this individual had to go through that.
All I can hope for her is that she knows that, especially with me, she has a support system of people that she can talk to, whether it be anyone within our community or there's people in organizations that there's endless amount of support that this woman can reach out for when she wants it and when she's ready for it, and there are so many things that can be done to either get her out of this situation or offer her some semblance of normalcy so that she can hopefully achieve a healthy, loving relationship in the future.
Yeah, I think this is, and she may have already taken steps to overcome it, but I think the first that
Mhm.
she has been so brave to come forward and tell this story, and I believe this is the this could be the first step for her knowing that she deserves so much more, and having individuals like us and people in the chat show that this is not only unacceptable but also relationships can be so much healthier, and there is a relationship out there for her where she will be
Mhm.
treated in a way that she deserves to be treated. Um, and this is a fantastic opportunity, and she sounds like she's got an amazing story. And I will say, and this is just me putting it out there because in future episodes we will be having guests on, we will be having people tell their stories live, and we will be interviewing them and having those conversations. So if this woman does at any point want to come on to this show and tell her story, not just this story, but it sounds like she's been through a whole lot, the door is open because I would love to speak to her and hear her story.
I did have a question from her. I will ask it, and I would love for anybody in the chat to also offer their opinion on this. But she said, "How the fuck can I trust the next person to treat me right if I don't know what that looks like?" And that is a great
I've got.
fucking question.
I can actually absolutely body this because as someone who has had horrendous relationships, my advice, and this is just my advice, and I'm not, I'm no guru on this, but the first thing to do is you have to spend some time alone to learn yourself. And one of the exercises that I was taught in therapy, and you don't have to do it exactly like this, but this is just what I was taught in therapy, is
Thank you, Cal.
you have to for at least a minute a day have a conversation with yourself. So we live internally a lot of the time. You have that inner monologue. There's a great book called The Chimp Complex that talks about it. So you have to have a conversation with yourself and get to know yourself and what you need, first of all, because you have to learn to love yourself, which sounds so corny, but it's so true. That you have to have that conversation with yourself, get to know what you need and what you want from an individual. And then, when you're ready to have a relationship, you have to make sure that you're comfortable enough to communicate with that individual and talk to that individual and not be afraid to say anything. Because the minute you get into a heavy relationship, like it sounds like she did for 7 years, you're already at a stage in that relationship where you aren't able to communicate. Because if you didn't communicate at
Mhm.
the very start of a relationship, how can you communicate 5 years in, 7 years in,
Mhm.
when you've gone 7 years not saying anything?
I can understand that, and I feel that yes, it can be confusing in the midst of the middle of a relationship or whatever, but I don't feel that there is any wrong time
Oh
to
no,
communicate and
no,
advocate for yourself.
no.
And Ash just put a good comment, good point. You have to know and set yourself boundaries, know what your do's and don'ts are, communicate these, and not give second chance. These have to be your non-negotiables. Look at what things you would never to another person to start and go from there. Ash, you're an idiot, first of all.
Yeah, Squeeze says,
Because
I 100% feel you can be in a relationship when you are still learning to love yourself. Yeah, I agree, you can be, but you have
I,
to.
I think I think that Ashley, what did I do? You can't fucking type. Make a proper sentence, you dumbass. I love you, but god damn it. What Ash like I know what Ash is trying to say though. Um, and to follow on to him and to cover what Squee is saying. Um, First of all, there is a such thing as a healthy relationship, even if you don't know what it looks like. It's different for every person. What's healthy for you may not be healthy for someone else. That may not be what they see as the healthy side. It's really what you consider to be a healthy relationship. And to me, the very start and foundation of a healthy relationship is what we've already said a million times is being able to communicate with your partner about what you are and aren't okay with, and that is something for yourself that you need to communicate. You need to communicate with yourself to figure out what you will and won't do, what you are and aren't okay with, what your limit is and how far you're willing to go. And those are things that you need to be able to voice at the very beginning. Like the second you get into the conversation of whether it be sex or housing or friend relationships, like it literally falls into every single category. You need to be able to say, I'm okay with this. I'm not, this is definitely a hard limit. I'm not okay with this. We can discuss anything else. And that's where the communication comes into play. Like you need to know what you're not okay with so that you can discuss all of that.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's 100% just it's just communication at that point.
yeah. And like Squeeze said, that you can be in a relationship while you're still learning to love yourself. You can,
100%.
but the need to be self aware, because self-awareness is so key. Because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, you're just walking down a road with your eyes closed. Because
Yep.
if you don't know what you want or what you're looking for, the relationship is going to be a struggle, because you're asking someone to support you in things that you don't even know what you want. You don't know what you're looking for in an individual. You don't know what you need from an individual, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I've definitely been in relationships that I've known are doomed because I'm not in it. I'm not self
Mm-hmm.
aware enough.
Mm-hmm.
I and it's hard. It's hard. I've been with someone and it's been like a year in and I've gone, this, yeah, I should never have got into this. And then you've got to have the uncomfortable conversation of basically telling someone I've just wasted a year of your life because
Yeah.
I got into this
Well,
relationship
I
by
mean,
accident.
you've not only wasted a year of theirs, but you've wasted a year of your
Yeah.
own because, I mean, it is a tough conversation to have when you are splitting up with someone and the feelings aren't mutual in any regard. But that's still part of speaking up for yourself, and you're only prolonging the inevitable at that point. You're
Yeah.
wasting their time because they're feeling like things are going great,
Yeah.
but you're also wasting your time for finding a new person because you're stringing along this other one by not saying how you feel. If you're not happy, if they're mad, that's fine. That sucks for them, but for yourself, if you're not happy and you're not speaking up about that, you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough, and what happens a lot of the time, and this is like for another time probably. But what is terrible is a lot of people don't end the relationship. They just keep it going. They just carry on. They'll just carry on, string along because they're too much of a pussy to end the relationship. If you know a
Mm.
relationship is coming to an end, and this is again where communication, it all comes back to it. While me and Brit have been talking this whole couple of weeks while I've been building up to this, we've constantly come back to communication.
Yeah,
But
it's literally, it just keeps coming up
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
so important.
is telling someone that it's not working. It's just saying to someone right now this relationship isn't working for me, and if that individual loves you and respects you and wants a relationship to work, they'll happily speak to you about it. They'll say, "What's not working for you? What can we do? You know, what do you need? What isn't working?" And sometimes it's just the fact that it just isn't. Like I'm not in love with you. Like, and that is the
Hmm.
hardest thing to tell someone. It is the hardest thing to tell someone when they're so in love with you and you don't love them anymore. To say I'm
Hmm.
not in love with you anymore is the hardest fucking thing to say, but it's important because your responsibility at that point is giving that person closure and letting them know where they stand. And they won't thank
Hmm.
you for it at the time. They won't
No,
thank
but hell no,
you.
they won't.
They will say you are a piece
And
of
see,
shit.
like there has been situations that I've seen and that I've been in where I've been able to tell somebody like I still love you as a person, but I'm not in love with you. I don't want to waste time for either of us. But I still care about you. I care about your well-being. And that's what so many people I think neglect to realize in the situation is that just because you've been broken up with, and it's not every situation, but I'm only speaking for myself. Like just because I tell you that I can't be with you anymore doesn't mean that I don't care
Yeah. Oh
and that
yeah.
I don't like I've been with you for this amount of time. Like obviously I fucking love you and I know you as a person and I care about you. But as far as a future, there isn't one.
Yeah.
And I really do feel like a lot of it comes down to wording that's said in the situation. But
Yeah. So just in the chat here, they said you can be in a relationship, but well, no, that's no. What's terrible is those who can say they can handle mental illness and can't. Squee, we've actually got a let's talk about it plan for mental health and mental health in relationships and all those things. So we will be covering that at some point. So I'm not ignoring
and
that.
I would love for Squee to either message me privately or put into one of the discords just some experiences that they've gone through with
Yeah,
your mental illness being judged, and that's okay if you're if you're uncomfortable talking about it. That is fine. I can,
and it's
like
all
I said,
anonymous.
you can send a message and we'll talk about it at a later time, and your name will never be mentioned. People can speculate, and that's on them. Um, or you can put it in the Discord, and your name will say attached to it, and you can say whether or not you want your name talked about, and if somebody finds that later, that's on them. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah,
But
everything's handled with
I
care.
yes, we the person that I spoke with about this story, I've talked to them in length about what they're comfortable with and what they want talked about, and that person, if they ever decide to out themselves as the person that submitted that story, that is on them. I and Deli will never
No,
name drop
no.
that. Your stories, if you send them to us in confidence and say I want this anonymous, it stays anonymous.
Yeah.
It is on you whether or not you want your name to be attached to it.
So Touch just said in the chat, my best relationship was with my husband. We never wanted to change who the other was, but we grew because we wanted to be the best person for each other. That is like that right
That
there.
makes the most sense
That
to me
that
because that is exactly what me and my husband have gone through.
yeah. Thanks for pinning that, Ash.
We
No,
we
that
both
is
knew
because
we both knew that we were an individual and that we were happy together, but we could grow to be better together for each other separately, kind of thing. It's hard to explain, but I'll let you touch on that
no, yeah. I think I mean I can't touch on it because
because you're a
I
piece of shit and a whore. Okay,
yeah, 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 100%, 100%. But I
I
will.
got you, Demi.
I,
I know she's out there somewhere listening, lurking.
what I will say is the everyone should hope to attain the relationship where the person falls in love with you for you, and the
Mm-hmm.
only thing they want to do is be the best version of themselves for you. So you don't change
Mm-hmm.
anything, but like Touch said, I'm just reiterating really. But the only when you get in a relationship with someone, you shouldn't want to change anything about them. You can communicate things you don't like because you just want them to be the best version of themselves. You can say
Mm-hmm.
you're being a piece you're being a piece of shit right now. Right now you're you're being too aggressive. Say in an argument, you're being too aggressive right now. I need you to kind of like not speak to you in that way. It makes me feel this type of way. So then the next time you argue, you use an appropriate tone. You don't make someone feel demeaned or feel lesser about themselves. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. The only thing you should ever want for someone that you're with is for them to be the best version of themselves, because by you making them great, they will fall in love with that part of you because they know I'm with someone who only supports me, only wants to see me attain greatness. Um,
Only wants to see me grow as a person, and I mean there's so many ways that you can show love, and I feel that that is a big one. Um, just because like it seems like One Touch and me have a very similar relationship dynamic, but like there's certain things that each person does that shows love, and it's their way of showing love. And I feel that in the situation that like she's talking about and that I myself am in, if you're unhappy with a certain thing and you communicate that and you know that that would make them a better person, like my instance, when me and Joey first got together and we were dating, there was one point in our relationship that he was very heavy into drinking, like every single night. It
oof.
was just almost the fifth, and he was a completely different person when he was drinking. And I told him, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like the way that you make me feel. I don't like the way that you act when you're drunk. And I was like, I love you and I still want to be with you, but I need you to work with me because I can't continue to do this. And it was those words that made him be like, "Oh shit, I'm about to lose the best thing that ever happened to me
But the
because
fact he
of
realised that
this
though,
one thing." He did. And like I talked to him when he was sober because that's kind of one of those things. That's kind of one of those things that you gotta have to do. Like, if somebody's drunk, they're not gonna really retain that, and they're
No,
going to speak very loosely. They're not going to think about what they say.
no, no. Yeah, yeah. Touch said the stuff that got on my nerves about him now is what she misses the most about him. I feel that Touch, at some point, if you'd be comfortable, I would love to either have you on here to tell your story about you and your husband because I know her story. She actually only told me a couple nights ago, and yeah. Or either you message Brit your story and we talk about it on here. But yeah, your story is definitely something that I think you would be able to help a lot of people with because you are you're an incredibly strong woman for what you've been through and how you've overcome what you went through. So I would love to speak to you at some point on this show.
Yeah, anybody that has stories that they would like to talk about or situations or anything, like please send one of us a message and let us know what it pertains to. And we have so many things that we have aspirations on uncovering throughout the time of us doing Let's Talk About It that we hope stays going forever, because there's always going to be a conversation to be had. But I mean, right now we have plenty of conversations that we want to have about what we've talked about today. We want to, there's more conversations to talk about what we've just touched on today. There's conversations about mental health within relationships and within life that we would like to have. And anybody that would like to come on and talk about their stories, send me a message, please, because, there's so many people that have so many different stories that have been through so many different walks of life that have something that they can contribute that can be a teachable moment. And I hate to use the term teachable moment, but there's so many things that like I myself went through 10 years ago that looking back on now, and we talked about this yesterday, but there's so many things that like I've been through in my life that like with especially with my mental health that I can look back on now and be like, this is what happened to me then, and this is how I've progressed in 10 years as far as learning how to cope or learning what to do. And I can offer that advice that took me years to learn myself
Yeah,
to other people. We have so many ways that we can talk about those things, and so many people have different experiences that they can offer help with.
yeah, yeah.
So,
No, no. I think what you learn as you grow older, and especially when you become when you find love within yourself, and you
hmm
learn to respect yourself and stuff like that, you realize that all the shitty things that went on in your past, you wouldn't change. You wouldn't take any of it away because you wouldn't be the amazing individual you are today.
hmm
Like you, but you are one of my favorite people in the world. You are an amazing woman. One of the key reasons you're such an amazing individual is because of the shitty stuff that happened to you in your past.
hmm
And that goes for everyone, and that's why I touched on one touch's story. She told me and Mike about it the other night, and she is a woman that I already had a huge amount of respect for and a huge amount of love for, and then when she told me her story, I was like, wow, like when you listen to someone's trauma and what they've been through, and they are standing so strong, you develop a different type of admiration for someone because we have all been
yeah.
through shit. David Goggins says in his book "You Can't Hurt Me" that you can throw a tennis ball outside your window and it'll hit five people who have been through more shit than you. And
hmm
when you realize that everyone is fucked up, some people just hide it better
hmm
than you and I.
Absolutely.
You suddenly learn to respect people more. And
Well, it really just comes back to everybody has a story, and all you see when you're looking at someone is just the cover.
yep.
They show you what they allow you to see. But it's when you really get in there and get to know that person.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Squee says and he has told me this before, that he was a victim of domestic violence, and that's something men can't talk about. that is something else. We've got another show planned for.
I was going to say we've got so many things planned for you guys and so many conversations and talks. Like
But
this is just the very tippity top.
but yeah, what I would say, and I appreciate people dropping it in the comments because it's good for people to see that we're all fucked up. We're all incredibly fucked up. But
We all have
please,
our own things.
please, because it's so important and so poignant that everyone gets an opportunity to tell their story. Because it helps. It helps to talk about it, and the whole mission of Let's Talk About It is to unlock those doors that we don't talk about. The things that in society is shamed when you talk about it is please either leave them in the Discord in the Let's Talk About It tab at the top of both our Discords, or DM Brit with your story, and we will more than happily have you on the show.
Absolutely.
You guys are legends for doing this. Appreciate you, Ivan. We're trying to make a change. We're trying to make a change. The whole point of TMGC as a whole is to elevate the community and to shine light and to you know
To talk about the things that people are too scared to talk about or don't want to, because there's so many people out there that are just too scared to talk about life and what happens in it. And um me and you both are very unfiltered and don't really have a problem talking about anything, whether
no
it be somebody else's story or our own, because I know most people that know me know I'm an open book. I'll talk about fucking anything. I don't have a problem sharing what I've gone through or my opinion on something.
no
So, and
no.
we're both that same person.
Well, we are 100% that same person. No, the whole the and this is why we have the disclaimer, because subject matters that we've got coming up and subjects that we're going to cover and some of the jokes we're going to make about some of the shit that goes on is going to offend people, and we don't give a fuck. Like at some point we are going to piss
We've
someone
already
off.
thought about it.
Yeah,
We've already thought about it. We know
we've
what's
told them.
coming.
But what we really want to do is it to be an open door for all those kinds of conversations. So one last time before we move on, and I do want to cover this subject and kind of bring an end to this, so then we can move on to the next topic. But also, I just want to make a very clear statement: is please submit your questions, topics you want us to cover, even if it's something you've not been through but you want to hear it.
Yeah, for
Put it in there
sure.
because it's not
Anything.
all going to be heavy. Sometimes we're just going to have shows where we just talk about how much we like to fuck. And they're going to be fun because we all like to put our dicks in pussies and put our pussies in dicks and all of that. So we will be talking about we will be talking about that at some point. But anything goes on here. Anything you want to hear us talk about, anything you want us to cover, and if you want to
Oh,
feature
shit.
and you want to be in this third box here and have us talk to you, interview you, discuss shit with you, we'll do it. We'll book you. You'll be on. You'll be able to tell us what you like, what you don't like, and you'll be able to talk about the fucked up shit that you went through, and we'll be able to. You'll get a reaction like that when I heard about what the inside of fucking intestines felt like. What the fuck? So yeah, Touches DM'd you already, Brit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just saw that.
yeah, but yeah, her story's
Yeah,
incredible.
Squee, just message me, and I mean, like I said, if you would like to talk about your story here instead of through messages, we'll have you on. If you want us to tell your story and to talk about it, we'll do that. It's whatever you're comfortable with. And that goes for anybody. If we can, if you have topics that you just want discussed and you want to see people talk about in the chat, just submit them or send them to me or Deli. We'll talk about them that way. But there's however you guys want it. Oh, we're telling all the stories,
Oh yeah.
Misto. But back to the questions that followed this story, and this is for people in the chat to answer as well. Um, do you feel that you should have to persuade your partner to do things that you want to do? And that's for you too, Deli.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a simple answer. I don't think it's a simple answer.
I don't either.
And this might upset some people, but I don't give a fuck. So there's certain things that you might want to do as an individual with your partner, and they're like, no, fuck no. And I've had it, and I'll tell you how I've had it is because I'm someone who has never, will never, has never, never done any butt stuff. Like on my part, I've eaten girls' asses. I love eating asses. Fucking amazing. But I've had plenty of girls that have tried, and without consent, I'll say. You know, they'll be got 3,000 ing and little reach around, you know? And I've been like, fuck no! Like, you know?
Wait a minute, wait a minute. What'd you be like?
No! Like, so, AO Deli got a finger in the butt. I definitely did not. But, it works
Hey,
both ways.
somebody said as a bi dude, you're missing out.
I'm definitely fucking not. But it's your thing, so it's cool. It's cool. But, just like when you're starting a relationship and you see a girl at a bar and you flirt with her and you have to, you know, get to know her. You have to win her over. Sometimes in the bedroom, you have to have those conversations and go, I'd really like to try pegging. And you're like, no, fuck no. And then 2 days later, the woman might come to you again and go, well, you know, if you try a little bit of that, maybe I'll try a little bit of this. You know? But it has to be like that. So you can. I think it is okay to try and convince your significant other to try new things as long as you're both consenting.
And see, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, especially like, okay, so I know for women, and a lot of women are going to be like, I know where this bitch is going.
Go on.
A very big thing that has always been a big thing is smut books, you know, that are about all of these things. And they're, I mean, it really got very popular when the whole 50 Shades of Grey
Oh, yeah.
really hit the media. Like those type of books and those type of stories got blown through when that. And then there was the Colleen Hoover books that came out, and it really just hit the mass media of people being able to get a hold of those books and discover those. And I think, especially now that those have become more into the mainstream, there's been a lot more people reading or seeing things that they would have never considered before. And I think in a relationship, I think the word persuade carries a lot of negative connotations towards it. I think it's more of just having a talk with your partner, saying like, okay, I saw this in a porno, or I read this in a book and it sounds interesting and I would like to try this. At that point, that opens that door for that conversation of saying, I think this sounds hot. I feel like it might please me. I want to try this. And then from there, you can open that door for conversation with your partner and say, you know, how do you feel about this? This is how far I'm willing to go. This is what I think sounds good. Maybe you do some research on it together and you say, okay, this is what this community says should be done. Are you okay with A, B, and C?
Yeah.
What are you not okay with in A, B, and C? You know, like having that conversation of, you know, it's not black and white.
I was
You
just about to
can,
say it's grey. It's grey as
it's
fuck.
great. It's not black and white. Like you
No.
can discuss it with your partner of what you are and aren't okay with and what you want to do to tweak it and how you want to tweak it. Like instead of using handcuffs, use a tie. I don't want the hard metal on me. I want to use like something soft. You know, like there's so many different ways that each person is going to want to change that to it being what they want it to be.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can be playful with it. The term, society almost sometimes, when you, because if you said a lot of this shit on Twitter, you would get blasted. But it is so great because you can be flirtatious with it. Like, I have been in situations, and we all have, where we've been like, nah, I'm not into that. And
Yeah.
you flirt with it, you go, oh, like a girl has said to me, like I say, about the whole pegging thing. Oh, well, you know, I'll do this for you if you do that for me. And I'm like, hey yo, like no, it's still no, and it'll be flirtatious. I think the thing to touch on is it's your relationship. As long as you
Mm-hmm.
have that level of trust and communication, everything, nearly everything, is okay. The word persuade is rough. I would not say persuade, but if
Yep.
you have the kind of comfortable relationship where you can say, babe, like if you let me eat your ass tonight, then I'll do this for you tonight. And if that's how your relationship works, that is cool. That if you want to be flirtatious and try and get your significant other to try new things, as long as you're not applying pressure, as long as you're not trying to forcibly make it happen by going, well, I'm not going to suck your dick tonight if you don't do this for me.
Ultimatums are never
That
okay.
is no.
Well, I'm gonna just stop there.
But if it's babe, like if you let me do this, then I'll do that for you. Like little flirty, that can be okay. But it's what the
Well,
it's what the no goes in your relationship are. It's what the rules in your relationship allow.
and I also think that like so many people have a negative ideology in their mind that, you know, on certain things. Like there's going to be certain things in every relationship that somebody's into that your partner's into that you may not think that you're into. But in your head you see it as a negative because I mean, in society, sex and everything that surrounds in it has always been seen as something that should be behind closed doors. It's awful to talk about. It's disgusting to talk about outside of the bedroom or with anybody else that you're not having sex with. And that is not the case.
No.
I mean, you should be able to sit there and talk about what you do and don't
Oh no. Oh no.
eating thing. So many people see that as it's disgusting. But I know with like I'm gonna just put it out there with me. Like my husband was into that, and I was just like, I don't know about that. Sounds a little rough,
Yeah.
and not on him, on me. And I was just like, I was like, you know, from and I was like, no. He's like, you've never had it done to you, and I was like, no. And he was like, okay, can you try it? If you
Yeah.
don't like it, we'll never do it again. But can you at least try it?
There
And
you
I
go.
was like,
See.
yeah, I'm willing to try that. Like, and I think that is what so many couples neglect is I've never tried it, but I will if it's something that you would like. I will try it once. If I don't like it, is it okay if we never do it again?
Yeah.
And they should 1000% say that is okay as long as you try it. It's the same thing with fucking food.
Yeah.
Like you can't say that you fucking hate broccoli, but you've never had a piece of broccoli in your
Yeah.
life.
We lose use that
Like
reference.
it's I know. But
Yeah.
I mean it's the same fucking
It
thing.
is.
Like
It
you can't
is.
say that you hate something if you've never tried it. I
And
mean, and that's all I'm saying is just give it a try. If your partner says that they like it or they want to try that with them. If you guys if and talk about it when you're done. Like if there was something that was done that you say like, "Okay, I liked this aspect of it, but I didn't like this aspect." That's the gray area.
yeah.
You fucking compromise and you work with what you like and what you don't like and you see if it's something that you're willing to continue with.
No, and it's I love that Pop just said when it comes out so you need to try 7 times before you get used to it. But she's talking about food, not sex.
Okay, well with food there is a very much a
Yeah,
difference because is it seasoned right? Is it just salt and pepper, or did you put some like love into
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
You know, it's how was it cooked? That food is a little different, but it kind of falls to you know what I'm talking
Es-
about. Fuck you guys.
especially
Don't you be coming at me with technicalities.
especially in relationships though, when you're in a relationship where you're having sex with someone over and over again, it's also about understanding your partner's body as well. Because
Hmm.
if you're fucking someone and they suddenly freeze up, you know you're doing something wrong.
Hmm.
Like that is probably rape because they've frozen up. They're not comfortable. They're not sensual. And then it's also about listening as well. When I'm doing that to my significant other, are they are they making all the noises that I know that individual makes when they're enjoying themselves? Or are they completely silent? If they're completely silent, doesn't that tell you that they're probably not into it?
Mm,
It's not always the case because some people, everyone is different when you're fucking.
everyone
But
reacts differently,
but
yes.
if it's your significant other and you've had sex with them tens of times, hundreds of times, you know those little noises, those little intricacies within your relationship. She's really fucking into that. Like you know when you're with someone that you love or that you are significantly into, you know that you're fucking them right when they make certain noises or certain movements. You know, maybe the legs start
Mhm.
shaking, maybe the hips start gyrating, maybe they start fucking screaming. Whatever it is, you know you're doing it right, which then tells you you know when you're doing it wrong. So
If
sometimes
you
they,
know when you're doing it right, then you know when you're doing it wrong
there you
because it's the
go,
complete opposite.
there you go, there you go. So yeah, but touching on what they asked, persuasion is a grey area. It's 100% a grey area. But what isn't a grey area is forcibly trying to make something happen.
And a follow up to that, which we've also kind of covered in throughout this tangent that we've gone on. How far are you willing to go to satisfy your partner? So, like, for example, like, would you try pegging if your partner said she was into that?
Fuck
Would
no.
you, anal, deep throating, ass eating, like all of these different examples? Like,
So
how far are you, like, would you be willing to satisfy your partner
so I will do
if she said,
I will do absolutely anything to a woman that she asks me to do. Anything. I mean anything to a woman that she asks me to do. Because my one of my biggest kinks is seeing a woman get off. Like there is
mm-hmm.
nothing that will get me off more than knowing that you are in a state of absolute bliss. But the only red line is I will never do anything. I will not go down my own dirt track. Like there is not that is a red line for me. But everything else, if you want me to fucking, no, I'm not gonna go there because I'll probably get banned. But
Yeah, probably.
but
Probably.
but yeah, in terms of satisfying a woman, there is not anything that you could say to me. You could ask me to cover you in fucking tomato ketchup and lick it off your body, and I would do it. You could ask me to, yeah. I've eaten Ben and Jerry's off a woman before. That was pretty hot.
Oh, you froze up for a second.
I said I've eaten Ben and Jerry's off a woman before.
I have a question. What other kind of ketchup is there other than tomato?
I don't know if it's a ketchup, but we have brown sauce, barbecue sauce. Do they all count? I don't know.
I mean, no, that it's made with ketchup, I guess, but
What are you thinking?
there's no other type of fucking ketchup. Ketchup is ketchup.
No. Squee just said there's such thing as mushroom ketchup.
But I need somebody to send me proof. I don't believe it.
So yeah, is
I'm not believing it.
that all the questions from our amazing first contributor?
Last question is, how big do you feel sex is in a relationship?
It depends on the individual because you have all kinds of
And
people.
then, but see, like that, their add on to that was everything else is absolutely perfect, but the sexual connection feels lackluster. I've had that submitted. Um, is it something that you feel can be worked on and a compromise made with?
So to touch on first, how strong is a sex in a relationship? It just depends on the individual because you have people that are like demisexual, you have people that are asexual. So it all depends on the individual. What I do think is important though is
I know, I know. Squee did not send me mushroom ketchup.
is
Wikipedia.
is finding it's just as important as finding someone you are compatible with mentally as it is sexually.
Hmm.
So if you are someone that's highly sexed, like myself, like sex for me in a relationship plays a overly significant role in the relationship. But for someone
I'll,
else, so I would say, so say for me, 70% of a relationship, it holds that much of a weight in a relationship. For someone else, it may only hold 10%. At that stage, I
mhm.
probably shouldn't get in a relationship with that person because they're never going to be able to meet my energy. So To answer the question, basically, I just think it depends on the relationship, but it's important to find someone you're sexually compatible with.
It's just for me or if it's for his side as well, but I'm going to touch on that.
Go on.
Um, I feel that it is situational. Some relationships lean more on to sex than other things.
Yeah.
Others lean more onto the physical connection that they have outside of everything. I mean, I really believe 1000% that it is situational as far as the relationship is. Some people very much focus on that, like I said. Some people very much focus on the time spent together and the laughs had outside of the bedroom.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
one of those that falls into that gray area type thing.
Yeah, it just depends on the couple, but yeah, I think it's very important to find, and it's conversations to have very early on in the relationship because otherwise you're just wasting each other's time. So I'm not saying first date vibes, but definitely like within the first couple of months, you should probably have a conversation about what your needs and wants are. If you see the relationship
Mm-hmm.
going somewhere, if you're having a date with someone
Absolutely.
and you're like, "Do you know what, I could see myself like kind of get really fucking with this person," then around that stage, you should start talking about what each other needs in a relationship.
True. True. True.
What were the other questions though that she touched on?
That was all the questions that she touched on. I have some other questions that are just going to be for us and everybody in the chat to kind of join in and offer their opinions. And then if we talk about it, we talk about it. If not, then we go on to
Yeah, just to
some other
touch
stuff.
on her then, just before we go. One, incredible individual. Thank you so much for submitting that. But secondly,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
this guy does need to be held accountable for his actions. So I would completely support her decision to take this further because this guy needs to be stopped because he will only do this again.
Um, as far as what I would have to say to her, which I've already spoke with her separately, but I would like to support her with anything that she may need. So definitely, and I know that she's watching. If there's anything that you need, please just reach out to us and ask us. And if there's any way that anyone in this community can help, I would love to offer that to you. Just because one person may not be able to make a difference, but the almost 800 to 1,000 that we have here
Yeah,
may be able to.
yeah,
So
yeah. Anything she needs, like the community is there for her. I know that for certain.
and I know without a shadow of a doubt, just about every woman that's within both of our chats is 100% open to have a conversation with you if you need, another female to lean on, to talk to ask any questions, just for yourself. I know I myself, my DMs are always open to anyone, male or female, that wants to have a talk about whatever. Like if you're having a bad day and you need somebody to talk to about it, DM me. I may not be able to answer it right then and there, but we can talk.
Yeah, and
I'm always open to talking.
like I said, I would love, and this there is no pressure at all. But I would love to actually have like an open discussion with her on this platform if she was comfortable because I believe that
Um, I have talked to her. She is very much comfortable with
well
that.
we need to book that at some
But
point.
at this moment,
Yeah.
that is not a viable option.
No, she's living with this guy. Ain't no way,
Mm.
ain't no way. But at some point, and this show is going to go on and on and on. So even if it's in a year's time, I just
Hmm.
know a story like that, and it sounds like she's got a crazy story, could help so many people because we have to get more comfortable if we're going to address the problems in our society. In terms of sexual violence, like I said, 500,000 people in the US alone every year.
And that's just reported.
Yeah, and the US and UK,
Reported instances.
the US and UK. So the US is 13th in the world, in the entire world, for the number of sexual violence acts each year.
Hmm.
The UK is 14th. 1 in 4 women are raped in their lifetime. That is fucking crazy. Sorry, no, 1 in 4 are
Ridiculous.
victims of sexual violence in their lifetime. We as a society have to do better, and I think one of the ways we do that is through processes like this where we have open discussion and we address it and tell people that it's not okay because we young men, as we've seen with the whole, I'm not going to go over it, but the Andrew Tate things and stuff like that are being shown that it's okay to objectify women and to treat women as objects, and it's our responsibility as you know as men and as a community to teach young boys and young men and also educate women that they are not objects. It's our
Mm-hmm.
responsibility to use whatever methods we can to show people that it is not okay and to shun that way of thinking that we have access to each other's bodies. It's not okay, and so I believe her story will touch a lot of people, and in the future we'll
I
definitely have
believe
a.
so as well. I believe so as well. She's definitely been very talkative throughout this entire thing with me, and she's wanted to just say that she's never asked for help for anything, but she guesses that this is kind of her screaming for it, and she just needed some reassurance that this wasn't okay.
Yeah, as
Um,
especially as a man, I can say
mm-hmm.
I can say from my point of view that it was not okay. Men shouldn't treat you like that,
Again,
and a man in the future will show her the love, respect, and treat her the way that she deserves, which is only to be treated with nothing but, like I say, respect.
mm-hmm.
Because
um,
because that is not how men treat women. That right there is just a piece of shit. Sorry.
yeah. She did say that all she needs is a little bit of luck to get forward with her life. So I guess if you're the praying type, throw up a little prayer. If you're the person that's like me, that's doing the best you can to send positive vibes. Just hoping that there's something that opens up for her to get out of the situation that she's in. I because I mean I didn't live it, but it was definitely a hard situation to talk about. It was a hard situation for me to read in the first place, but it's definitely harder to talk about and hear about. And her, I'm sure for her, she did say it was definitely harder than she thought.
I can imagine because it was hard for me to hear. So having to live
Yeah,
that and to go through that, yeah, yeah. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. Like I say, I've already said it once, but she's an incredibly strong woman and has my complete respect and my complete admiration because
absolutely.
I know what it's like to go through hardships, and what she went through is incredibly tough. But she is a survivor,
Hmm.
and she will get through what sounds like she's in a tough situation right now, having to live with this horrible individual. But you know, she will get through that as well because she's got through a fucking 7 years. 7 years of putting up with that
Yeah,
shit. You have nothing but my respect. Yeah.
absolutely. There's so much respect on my corner, and I just wish that like I was a fucking millionaire right now, so I could just be like, how much do you need for a deposit? Like, can you afford monthly rent? Like, do you need the deposit? Because I will fucking crowdfund to get you the deposit to put yourself in a better situation.
Yeah.
So
But better times will come ahead because nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. So she
true.
will get through. She will get through this. She will get through this and be in a much better position. Um, because yeah, she deserves it. She fucking deserves it.
Absolutely.
So what do you want to talk about next? Because I know we've
All
got a
right. So
couple of
this is for anybody in the chat. You're more than welcome to answer this. I'm banking on you guys to answer this. But what instantly makes a person unattractive to you? For
Whoa.
me, for me, the biggest thing that makes a person unattractive to me is hygiene
Oh, damn
and
it.
education.
Damn it.
I want you to be clean, obviously, but if you cannot hold a conversation with me that is a little bit intelligent, first of all, and like like one of my biggest turnoffs when talking to somebody is, can you spell?
Well, I'm dyslexic, so I'm fucked.
Yeah, I don't fucking like you anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Uh,
I'm,
Poppy said bad
I'm trying
teeth.
to, I'm trying to steal your girl. Okay, fuck you. I
Poppy,
got her if I want her.
bad teeth. Bad teeth is a good one. That's
And
just.
Cat came in and said arrogance and ignorance.
Oh well, I've fucked it. I'm fucked because I'm arrogant as fuck.
Oh my god, Squeeze, shut the hell up.
What do you say?
He said, "Well, shit. Now I know why you don't talk with me much anymore.
Oh shit.
I don't
Yeah,
talk with anybody much, to be fair."
Ash said being unkind. Yeah,
Yes,
bad teeth is definitely one. Like, but I think that comes down to dental hygiene. Like that's why,
I think so as well.
like smokers. Like I've been. And nah, I can't say 'cause I still fucked them, but yeah. When you kiss a girl and she tastes like an ashtray, that shit is like yeah. That's one I can't fuck with.
I definitely think it falls to 100%. It's personal preference on all of that,
Of course it is.
but for me, 100% like your hygiene
Yeah.
and your education. Like, and I'm not saying that you have to be like a fucking Harvard scholar. I just need you to have like basic
Substance. You just have to have
a
substance to it.
brain. I just need you to have a brain and be able to carry a conversation. Like that is important to me. Communication and being able to understand what the fuck you're trying to say. Like I just need you to be able to formulate a sentence.
No confidence is an interesting one. No confidence is an interesting one. That's what Pop just says. Turn off his no
I just
confidence.
saw that.
Yeah,
That is
because
that's out there.
yeah, because that is out there. Would I agree with that?
Yes, you can be an educated idiot. Like I'm okay with you being a fucking dumbass because I'm a fucking
Yeah,
dumbass, but I need you to be able to speak about it, you know?
yeah. I think that works. I think that's definitely gender specific because I think a man doesn't mind a woman being not very confident because you can. I think at least no, this is just speaking for me, but a woman that doesn't think a lot of herself. I love making a woman feel beautiful and making her feel attractive. But I think women do like a man who is confident and takes the lead, or at least some women do. That's at least the feedback
Mm.
I've got. Like, yeah, you have to carry yourself. Yeah, I think that's definitely a gender thing. I think, or at least a lot more. Women look for confidence in a man a lot more than a man may look at confidence in a woman because a man likes to instill confidence in women. You know,
Yeah, I
but
can't really speak on that too much as far as like personally, because I myself, like, behind the shell that I put out there,
she's
I
soft
don't
as
have
fuck. She's soft as fuck.
Okay, all right. So I'm about to out myself, and I literally the fucking softest bitch you guys will ever meet.
Yup.
But I put on this exterior shell that I am just this hard ass motherfucker, and everybody that has talked to me for a day, like that. Like I come off as a hard ass, but like truthfully, I am just so like in need of love and acceptance, and I'm just a little baby little teddy bear. But I mean, it really just like I myself I don't have a shit ton of confidence, but I portray myself as I do, so that in turns I'm hoping, and this may be just me being a I'm outing myself, but like I portray that I have confidence in hopes that it returns a little bit of confidence, and it has worked in some ways.
I've definitely seen it. I've
Um,
definitely seen it while you're streaming. Having known you for like almost a year now, I've definitely
yeah.
seen you develop um, into a more confident person. Like I can
Hmm.
definitely see the growth. And
Exactly, Cat. Fake it till you make it. Okay. Okay. But
Squ-
yeah, like my confidence has always been low, but like I feel that like portraying myself as a confident person has helped boost my confidence because I've as a person, and this is just more on like a personal level, but as a plus size woman growing up constantly, and like I said, we'll get into this, these things, but like I was constantly bullied throughout my entire school years. I started being an asshole and I started acting like nothing bothered me, and was just I put on that resting bitch face that everybody sees, and it stopped a lot of the shit
Mm-hmm.
that I got, because people are like, oh, she's an asshole, like I don't want to fuck with her, like she just, it really changed who I was as a person on the outside, as far as like the way that I'm able to just joke around about shit now, and the way that I'm able to just, act like nothing bothers me, even though like behind closed doors I'm over here like, damn,
Yeah.
that shit kind of hurt.
Yeah, I think a lot of
uh,
people have that as well. A lot of people have that. Like Squeeze just put in here that he struggles a lot with self confidence, and self worth and self
I
esteem. I'm
think
guessing.
Discord's having some hella issues right now.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times for me. Well, we
Yeah,
might
same here.
have to find a new way to do it, but I mean, it's worked for the most part.
Oh yeah.
I've only missed little bits, but I think that's something we'll cover. I think that's definitely something to scribble down. Um, is to do one on like self worth, self esteem, confidence, and stuff like that. But yeah, I think a lot of people do, and a lot of people do fake it as well. But I do think that sometimes, in order to unlearn behaviors that you've learned all your life, if you have been bullied or been a victim in some sort of way, is you have to. There's a certain amount of it you have to convince yourself you can be different and act different, and part of that comes with faking it. Um, and kind of putting out a demeanor that you want to portray, so you can learn to act differently, you
Hmm.
can learn to behave differently. Um, so
Agreed.
I don't think faking it is a bad thing. And sometimes you've got to, in certain situations, you've got to put a face on and go, I'm not going to be fucked with. Because I've had literal DMs about Brit, because me and Brit will give each other shit on stream when we're playing COD or something together, and they're like, that's your best friend. And I'll be like, yeah, the fuck it is, why? Oh, she speaks to you like that. And I'll be like, you just don't know her. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Like we're constantly giving each other shit, but he knows that if he needed anything at all, I'm there.
Yeah, yeah. There's not. I don't believe there's two people in the community that have got each other like me and Brave got each other. Come at me, we'll fuck you up. Um,
Mhm. Chips knows.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, Chips has learned the hard way. I used to get bullied,
Chips
so
learned the
I
hard way.
brung in a shard of glass, cut my arm in it, put it in the bully's bag, and he. Right, okay. I'm not gonna finish that because that sounds like you framed someone for something.
Oh, he definitely did.
I was bullied for the way I sound. Yeah. Do you know what? Bullying is not something I can reference because I never went through it. But the amount of people that have dealt with that heavy shit, and I guess, and we won't get into it because this is a whole other show.
The
But
way the way that people have been bullied, I'm 1000%. We're having a whole episode about that. Like it will cover a whole episode, because the things that I was bullied for growing up was wild,
I
fucking wild.
I think what people don't realize, and I don't know how we do it, and it's not our job to fix society as a whole. But kids really don't realize how much people carry that shit into later life. I mean, we're some like, I mean, I'm 23, but we're some like 30-year-old people that are still dealing with some of the shit that happened to us when we were kids by kids.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not speaking for myself as much because that doesn't really apply to me, but I know a lot of people that are still dealing with traumas that they dealt with from other shitty kids. And typically, those shitty kids, the reason they're shitty is because their parents are shitty, which comes down to parenting. But I mean, that's a whole other debate.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that in another episode, but it's gonna be a fun one.
Pop said, "Oh, I'll be there." Oh, you're gonna be here every week, Pop.
Oh, you're gonna. Yeah, I was about to say you're stuck with us now, Pop. Like everybody that's here right now, you're stuck with us. Like I'm sorry.
We
Like if you're
expect you
not
here every
here,
Saturday.
if you're not here every Saturday, I'm gonna send you a message and be like, "Where the fuck do you think you're at?" Because
I'm gonna
it's
just
not
ban him.
here.
I'm gonna just ban him.
Oh, you're done. Exiled.
I'm gonna be a weekly guest. I mean, Squee, anything you've got to talk about every week, you can contribute it. We'll talk about it every week.
Absolutely.
What we
Absolutely.
got next?
Uh,
Uh,
this one,
uh,
although situational, what are you doing if you catch your partner cheating?
I'm gonna just stay silent on this one because I'd be the one getting caught.
Now, like I said, all those situational. If I came home and caught Joey cheating, dude, I can't even speak.
we should.
Ash said he is packing his shit and bouncing. Kat said she's kicking their ass out.
We're definitely gonna have to do an episode on cheating because yeah, I've owned up to the fact that I'm a
I
piece
was
of
about to say we could do a whole episode on you talking about your cheating because you're a fucking sack of shit. But you know,
Yeah, I'll talk about some of my situations. I'm more than happy to discuss them. Well, some of them, but yeah. But I've been cheated on. I've been cheated on.
what message? I missed the message. What message?
I've been cheated on twice. I wouldn't even bother. I would walk out. So the first time I got I got you stories for that this too. That's
I
fun.
need all of the stories.
DM
I
him,
need
DM
all
him,
of the
DM
stories.
him. Brit will definitely compile them all. We'll go through them all. We'll create a spreadsheet. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I haven't read my message on Discord, Squeak. Do I need to read that for
Uh,
this episode?
yeah, you did, Squee. You did. Yeah, I mean, so I've been cheated on twice. The first time I kicked the living shit out of the guy she cheated on me with. Which isn't the way to deal with it because I've got a
But
friend.
like in that instance though,
I was
I
immature.
can't even. I well, I'm still immature. Fuck that.
Yeah,
If
me
I
too.
walk in and I see a bitch on my man, like I can't even tell you what I might do because it really just depends on what's around me. I might grab the bitch by her hair and sling her around the house. I might grab my gun. I don't know. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. I'll be mad though. That's all I know.
This is a very. I mean, this is something we'll touch on when we do an episode on cheating. But is DMing someone cheating? It's the rules of your relationship. It's the rules of your relationship. Because
I think if you're emotionally investing yourself in another person,
talk about it, bro.
it is definitely cheating. Um, I believe that there's a lot of people out there, and I don't know. It's relationship to relationship as far as what you guys are okay with, and I do believe with what Kat says, it does take two to tango. I'm not necessarily blaming the woman. I'm mad in the situation.
Nah. I'll say that this is just my opinion. I might have to disagree with Kat a little bit there.
I,
I'm have to
all right.
disagree a little bit because I am someone who has heavily. I've typically been the one that a woman cheats on her partner with, husband with, whatever. I'm typically the side. I'm typically the fries on in the Happy Meal. Um, and that's not my relationship. It's not my responsibility. Like, and that's just how I view it. And I might be a piece of shit for seeing it that way. But if you're coming to me, I don't know your husband.
Tell myself that like I'm not gonna be mad at the woman, but like in today's society, there's no way that you don't know.
Yeah, but it's not that person. It's not that person's responsibility. Like for
I
me.
mean, I get that, but like also like, how did you guys meet?
But,
If you fucking say social media, you knew.
no, yeah, no, 100%. Look,
It takes 2 minutes, if that,
you
to see.
okay.
You knew.
Yeah. No, I always know. I always know. But it's not my responsibility. That's not my relationship. And this is going to be
But it's
controversial.
hard.
This is actually going to be controversial as fuck. But but put it this way: if my woman cheats on me with the guy, I couldn't give a shit about who the guy is. I don't care. Like at the end of the day, it's not his relationship. Why should he care about my feelings?
Mm-hmm.
The only person I'm ever going to be mad at is the woman. That's the only person I'm ever going to be in a relationship. But for me, if a woman comes to me and we hook up and I find out she's married, all I'm gonna say is like, look, that's your relationship. It's nothing to do with me. Like you need to sort your shit out. But am I gonna turn around when she comes and spins the block again and wants to hook up again? No. I'm a tell her that
And
she.
she's like, I have so many things.
Sorry, my chat's just done this. Like.
Mine did too. It was just like, I was like, ooh. Oh, Kat said Deli stop being a slut. And I couldn't agree more, Kat.
Look. One thing I will say is the reason that always happens is because the man in that relationship, and this is just to reference what we've already talked about, the man in the relationship isn't satisfying the woman. So what they need to do is get together, and
but see,
he needs to get his dick game right.
that's the thing.
He needs to
That's
get
the
his dick
fucking
game right.
thing. That's the fucking thing, though. Like, if he's not doing it for you, leave that man.
100%. I'm not condoning what she's doing. What I'm saying is, it ain't my responsibility as the fries in the Happy Meal to address what the burger's got going on.
The fries in the Happy Meal is fucking wild. Shut the fuck up.
They need to get their milkshake game right.
Oh my god. Okay. So back to the DMing thing, and just a little quick excerpt since I know my father is watching. I
Okay, that's
literally
wild.
told you not to fucking watch this. So when you figure out things that you didn't want to know, it's your own fucking fault. I digress. Anyways, so most people know by now I have an OnlyFans. And there's a lot of people that, for some reason, interject themselves into my relationship with my husband.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
You guys think that I just started that shit without talking to my fucking husband about it?
I mean, people
Like,
do though, don't they? There are.
there are plenty of people, rightfully so. There are plenty of people that do. But I had a conversation with my husband about it. We talked about the entire thing because we have a very communicative relationship. And we set boundaries, and we've talked about each situation as it has arose, however you would like to say that. But I, as a person that sells on OnlyFans and outside, there is a level of relationship that you have to have with those people that are constantly spending money. You have to have that level of talking and giving them attention. It is part of the business. Now, you 100% do not have to do that. But as far as customer service on that end goes,
I'm dead.
I'm dead too. It's hard to talk about.
Customer service is great. But no, you're right.
But like, if you're a man and you are spending money on some female's nudes, or you're spending money that because you're having a conversation with that woman, that is what is expected of me, is to offer you that conversation or that relationship or whatever it may be. And those are things that me and Joey have 100% talked about. Like, he's even the one that told me, like, I was like, I don't want to talk to these dudes. Like, I don't fucking like them. I just want their money. And he's just like, but you have to make them feel good about themselves, and like, you're interested in talking to them for them to continue to give that. And I'm like, damn, you're right. But I mean, it's like a lot of people, that it's what we've talked about. We have discussed that. He knows what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's again,
And we don't, like, we used to talk about like everything that was said. Like, I used to be like, oh my god, look what this motherfucker said. Look at what he said. But now he's like, I don't really want to know about it. And I'm like, I respect that. Do I need to stop? And he's like, no. Continue to get the money.
Yeah, and it's what you're comfortable with. I mean, you remember when I was meant to start one, and then obviously the relationship I was in wasn't. It was. Yeah, no, but I mean at the time. No, I mean at the time. Oh, yes. But at the time, obviously, it's just happened. But either way, at the time, it was made very clear I'm not comfortable with that. So I was like, Gucci, like I don't need that. Like,
Done.
yeah. I mean, could I be making a whole hell of money? I mean, yeah. I mean, you've probably seen you've probably seen the picture. At least you got told about it.
I was told.
You've seen the picture.
No.
Wow. I mean, at least you know.
You posted the picture yourself.
No, not that picture. The one where
you cropped it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
You posted it. You posted it, but you cropped it.
It was a good picture.
I was told about it.
That was worth a subscription.
The crop part is
yeah, it's worth a subscription.
I don't want to see the picture though, because I don't need that up here.
I mean, if you scroll high enough in the Discord, it's probably still there.
It is.
In fact,
anybody that would like to see.
In fact, you could probably just go to media in Discord, and it'll be in the media section. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's in the selfies.
Yo.
anybody wants to look at that, it's in the Selfies in Deli's Discord, !Discord for Deli's in his stream. Deli Meat 18 on Twitch. Also, while you're there, if you're not following your girl Brit 69 on Twitch, go ahead and make your way over there.
Ain't no
Also,
way.
on every other
Ain't no
social, I
way.
am there.
Chips just said thank you.
You're welcome, Chips. I got you, homie.
Oh fuck! Right, let's move on. Let's fucking move
Kat
on.
said she knows exactly where it is, LMA.
Who did? Who does?
Kat said she knows exactly where it is. I looked at it, you know.
Pop said.
I'd be curious.
Pop said on my way. I mean the
On
hygiene.
my way.
I mean the hygiene.
Yo, by the way, go to Pop's channel and check out her OnlyFans.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep, Pop's got an OnlyFans. I clicked the link because I was curious myself. It's nice.
It's nice.
Quality OnlyFans.
Oh fuck! Right, let's move on before shit.
Damn, Pop, you deleted it. Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Okay, so the last okay, so I had two serious questions that also relate to the whole sexual thing, however you say it. Ting. This is for the women of the chat. Does dick size actually matter?
You're all capping if you're saying that.
And this is for the women and the women and the gays and the bisexual. Please interject. I'm gonna talk about this. Some people say no. Some people say yes.
Some people are liars.
To me, no. I have some notes that I wrote on this, and I'm going to.
That doesn't matter. That size doesn't matter.
Well, I'm an adult that's fucking adults. So if I see that, I've never seen that, so I can't.
I can send you some pictures. Micro dicks. Google them.
Don't send me a picture. I don't need to see your dick.
Right, Rue, are you telling me a micro penis doesn't matter?
Okay, I feel like we're going on to extremes on this. I'm talking about average PP.
Okay, I've got a question then. I've got a question to tie into this. What is too small?
Under 2 inches.
Oh, there we go, okay. Yeah, I can get on board with that.
And the only reason I say that is literally because scientifically and anatomy, everything else, 2 inches is all that is needed to please any woman.
Well, they say they say like
the average women.
Yeah, well they say like the inside of a woman is like 4 inches in diameter. In diameter, is that right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yes, Kat, 2 inches is, if you look up the female anatomy, 2 inches is as far in as the G-spot is for the female. That is all that is technically needed. Finger's length. Not even a full finger's length. But that is all that is technically needed to satisfy a woman. Okay. Is the 2 inches. That's as far in as the G-spot is supposed to be.
Okay, Touch said, I've said no to a guy because it was way too big. So what's too big? What's too big?
I have said no to a guy as well because it was too big. So I get that.
What's too big?
I think that comes down to personal preference. I have a friend that literally has guys send pictures of their dicks before she will sleep with them next to a toilet paper roll to see how big around and how long.
I'm bigger than a toilet roll.
That's not what she's looking for. Toilet rolls are the same size no matter what brand you get. Yeah. And it is a great tool to use.
No, I'm just saying in case you need to know.
Right, Kat. If it hits my uterus, it fucking hurts. So, I mean, I really think it depends on the person as far as like the big portion comes, because some women don't want one under a certain inch. Some don't want one over a certain inch. I mean, I think it really just depends on the personal preference, but for me personally, I mean, it's not like literally how Kat said. Let me fucking scroll up and read her words exact.
Okay, just
it's not about the pen that you write with, it's about how you sign your name.
Okay, 1 second.
This motherfucker's grabbing a pen. I know he's not.
That's my signature. What do you think, Kat?
I think it looks like a butterfly and that you need to
That's
get
not
your
really.
life
That's
together.
not really a good one. To be fair, let me do it again. My hand was shaking because I was going to show Kat.
You could definitely tell your mom is in the doctor family because you write your fucking signature like a doctor.
That's it. There we go. What do we think, Kat? What's Kat's opinion?
I know your name,
Yeah, no, you
and
do.
I can't even tell what your name is.
What do we think, Kat? Have I got good hand movement?
All right, Kat.
What does she think of my penmanship?
She said LMAO and dead.
Oh, that's not the response I was looking for.
I know what you were looking for. She's not going to give it to you. Or. Anyways, so I have a comparison that falls for men to answer.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Tits.
What about?
Are you not going to sleep with a girl because she has small titties?
No, I love small titties. What I'm probably not going to do is sleep with a girl.
Personal preference.
What I'm probably no, but you're just asking me. But if you're asking
Mm-hmm.
me, it's more about what the bunda's saying, what the nyash is saying, what the.
Well, yeah, you're an ass guy, but it's like that same comparison though because you know it is as a man, if you're going to sleep with a woman, you're not going to like, her tits are way too small for me. I'm not gonna fuck her,
No,
or
the only time I've not
her
slept.
tits are way too big.
The only time I've not slept with a woman, and we've talked about this, we talked about it on my birthday stream, is there has been a handful of occasions where it's got to the stage where I'm seeing everything and I've gone, fuck no, because it looked like a penis.
Oh,
So, because the thing is, and that's not me being disrespectful, that's me making light of the situation, but if I can't get an erection, then I can't do it. Do you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
And there has definitely been situations where I've got down there and I've been like, I can't do this. And I've excused myself, I've made up an excuse, and I've just got the fuck out of Dodge. And
Cat said they had a penis? Question mark.
it definitely looked like it.
So they had an enlarged clit.
I don't know what the fuck. What? I need to be respectful because I'm not trying to disrespect women. I don't mean in an offensive way, but one time it literally looked like a penis. Like it was very like. It definitely had some length on the enlarged clitoris, but another time it just respectfully looked like a bomb site. Like I really didn't know what was what.
Site.
It really looked. It was crazy.
Okay.
I didn't know what was going on. Like it was just.
Okay.
I
All
was.
right. Yeah, I'm imaging it up here. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down and painting what you're priming.
Who said it? Someone said it on my birthday stream. Said it looked like an Arby's sandwich. That was you. That was you. Yeah, it was.
It looks like an RV's number 5.
And I was just like, and look, like, I've been with a few people. Like I'm cool. Like I know it can look all different types of ways, and I'm cool with it. And I'll eat whatever's on the plate. But sometimes you just can't eat what's on the plate. Sometimes it's a bit too much. So, but to answer the question, fucking Brit's face. But in terms of the breast thing, nah. All titties deserve love. I've never seen a pair of titties I don't like.
Same, to be honest.
Never dive in blind, always squee, bro. Honestly, so this is from Bob. Honestly, as someone who is flat as a board, it's nice to hear big boobs is not. No, so my preference, if you want to know my preference, is if you've got both, amazing. Like that is like God blessed you. But there is something especially attractive about a woman for me.
You can send it in a message, Cap.
there is something especially attractive for me about a woman who has uh, a big bum and then some like
Handful titties.
yeah. There's
He
just
wants he wants handful titties and a big ass.
no. Personally, I want both. Like and not to objectify my woman, but she's got both.
Hell yep.
God bless her. God bless me.
God bless her. All right.
Tits
We
on top.
had already we've already talked about this one.
What's that?
Me and you. Should men and women shave?
Yep. Yes, they should. It's called hygiene. Sorry, it's not politically correct to say, but for me, if we're in a relationship, I shave twice. I shave every 2 days. I expect the same treatment.
So personally, I don't care if you shave, but I would very much like it if you trimmed.
Ain't no one want this. This is going to be an impression. No man wants to see a woman do this. No one wants to see that. So sort yourself out.
So sort yourself out. Oh my god.
I'm a bald eagle.
I
I do the porn star.
I ask that it is at least trimmed just because I'm not trying to stick my face into a bush.
Well, I do the porn star. Everything's gone. Everything's gone. But I don't expect a woman for everything to be gone. Just for me, hygienically, especially because I go to the gym a lot, and it's just if you've got a
Well, and see, like the only reason I say as far as like the trim, because Squee made a good point. Hair holds smell, and it does. Bare minimum, though, all I ask is a trim, just because a full blown shave is very prone to ingrowns for a lot of people.
not if you do it right. I be shh, and then afterwards a little moisturizer, little, and I've never had any ingrown hair in my life.
Okay, well, lucky you.
Just saying.
Apparently, I'm not doing it right because I be getting ingrown hairs occasionally, and I can't handle that shit because I'm trying not to die.
But I'm trying not to. But so I'd be every 2 days, but I don't expect a woman to be clean shaved. Like do whatever pine you want. You can do a fucking gingerbread man for all I care. But I just
And I literally avoided talking about this with you the other day because I already knew that it was gonna lose its comedic value if I said it the other day, and I know we talked about this. As far as the shaving thing, especially for women, if you decide to shave or trim, please, for the love of God, stop not trimming your asshole because you do have hair that grows there. You're out here looking like you got a mullet.
yeah. And for those women wanting to know, yes, we look and yes, we judge. Especially if you're asking me to eat it, like I'm sorry.
Look, you're out here with a fucking mullet, and I need us to do better.
Or a tail. A tail is like if you're so if you're a woman who is dark haired, there is sometimes, and you just may not look, but everyone should look. Everyone should look. There is sometimes a whole tail.
And can we just pause about the fact that there's about to be so many people in their bathroom mirrors just completely ass cheeks spread,
Just like up like this, just like looking down.
Yes, it's gonna be so many people just ass cheeks spread in the mirror, like looking back, like what's going on back here?
Yeah. So do you want to know? Do you know what? Do you want to know one of the ways a girl that I was seeing for a long time found out that she needed to shave there, right? So we made a tape, and she wanted to watch it back together, and she got so embarrassed because she noticed that and it wasn't a whole lot, but that she noticed like a little bit of fur, and she was like, "Why did you never tell me?" I was like, "Cause I'm not gonna fucking say, yo, babe, you need to," because me and her weren't together, but I'm not gonna be like, babe, like you need to shave your asshole. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna be respectful and just let you find out like this.
Okay, so I feel for her because that's the same way that I found out. we literally, he was like, can I make a video? We were still dating at this point. And ooh, hello, camera, get your life together.
Mine was doing the same shit.
Uh, you guys know what I look like. Fuck it, you can still hear me.
Waxing is worth
Anyways,
it. Not for a guy. I tried waxing myself. That shit was crazy.
you're trying.
Brit's trying to sort a fucking camera out. I think you're frozen on me completely.
Anyways, I watched the video back later, and I don't know. I can't get this shit to not stop autofocusing right now. Anyways, I watched the video back and I was like,
Yeah.
excuse me, what is that? And he was like, oh, that's the little pieces of hair that you have on your booty. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And he was like, yeah, it's always been there. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Because I'm not one of those fortunate girlies that has light hair. I have
Yeah.
dark hair.
Yeah, and,
So
and if you're a naturally hairy woman, then you got, like I said, like you can have a whole fucking tail almost, like a whole like fucking.
let me see if I can get this shit to focus on anything.
Can't get us to focus, so you're not gonna get that. I've been waxing since my 20s. Now I don't need to. Yeah, I was with a girl who got laser treatment. That shit's fucking crazy.
It's not OBS. We're using Discord right now, Discord video, and like
Discord can be a
this
bitch.
shit is. It's being an asshole today. Usually it's the light. It's focusing on my hand.
There you go. Oh.
Nope. Can you please?
Can you please get your shit together?
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I mean, I can. There we go. I figured it out. Don't mind me. I turned
There
off
you
my
go.
camera, turned it back on. We're good. We're good.
Sometimes all
But
you need
yeah, I gotta turn off the autofocus. I don't know where I gotta do that in Discord, but I'm gonna have to do that because it's pissing me off.
turn the autofocus off. Yeah, I might need to do that same shit because my shit be doing that sometimes. So, to round up, what are people's opinions? Do men and women have to shave, or do you not mind the whole like all natural it coming down your fucking thighs type hairy?
Oh, ooh, down the thighs is a little excessive. I don't mind if it's not shaved though, as long as you are clean, like fresh out the shower. It doesn't bother me, but I prefer trimmed down.
Shave, Chip says shave. Nah, I'm an advocate. Like I'll be honest. Like I expect it because I expect it myself, and I think that's the thing. Again, communication, relationships. I keep myself ready for action out of respect for you and for what I desire sexually.
So I know we talked about this, but I think as I've gotten older, I've just kind of started trimming instead of like full blown shaving. But when I was younger, I did full blown shave. And I know I had talked to you about this, but when me and Joey were dating, I used to.
Oh no, we need to talk about it. That's just reminded me.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
do it, do
Okay,
it, do
so
it.
when me and Joey were dating, I used to prepare myself before I went over there. You know, like everybody knows, like when you know, like when you expect that you're going to have a moment.
I'm gonna need the chat to have input on this as well.
Shaving my legs, I'm shaving my booty, I'm shaving everything. And I remember there was one time I was over there and I did not shave and I knew that it was coming and I straight up stole a razor out of his bathroom and I was like in the bathroom like, oh, just, you know, I'm in the sink like fucking foot in the sink just shaving everything and I've got my leg up on the counter and I'm just like getting my life together and like I'm like a little prim and proper, like I'm all
Yeah.
clean now.
this is just reminding me of the conversation we had. So what I'm gonna need from the chat is what is the craziest thing you've used? What is the craziest thing you've used to
That
shave?
escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
What is the craziest thing you've used? I'll kick it off. The craziest thing I used, and I was incredibly young, and I mean I was young, but the craziest thing I ever used was a match and lighter. A match and a lighter, and I was just there with my shit like tucked up, and I was just and just sculpting around my
You're
dick,
just.
like
I was gonna say, you
like
just
it was
got your dick
pottery.
pulled up.
Like
And you're just...
I was holding my dick because I was like, I don't want to burn this shit off. This is precious, but I was going all around it, and then I even did the shit where like I held myself up like the shaft, and I was like, like running it down, just skimming the hairs off it, like I was like.
I just know your mom was just like, what the fuck is that?
That smell, you know, my mum did. She came home from work. She came home from work and she's like, "What's burning? What's burning?" I was like, "I burnt some food. Like I had a pizza and some chips." And,
Now,
like,
you
some
know
fries."
damn good well that that does not
She-
smell like burnt food.
No, it's just like you don't, as a very young kid, when you first learn that to jack off or to bust, you don't realize that like it smells like
Yeah.
there's a fragrance, so you know good and well that you were busting to like some girl like as a kid, and your mom walked into your room and she was like, and like turned 180 straight out of that fucking bitch because your room stank. So, yeah, yeah,
So whenever I was younger, my mom, this was like when I first realized that I started growing hair, and my mom would not let me shave.
what?
And I'm not like I'm talking about like legs and underarms. Like
Yeah,
she was like, "You're too young. You don't need to worry about it." Um, and like I said, like this is like when I first started. Like she was just very much like not ready to cut the cord. I was her firstborn. She was not ready for me to grow up. And she was like, "No, like you're too young to be shaving your legs and shaving under your arms." And I mean, like this is like literally when it first started, like when I first started developing hair
yeah.
when I was hitting puberty. And I remember sitting in my fucking bedroom with a pair of scissors. And I'm
Oh
just like
shit.
holding my armpit up, and I'm just sitting there with scissors, just cutting my skin, everything, like just trying
Yeah.
to cut the hair, because that's where it was longer. Like my legs wasn't that bad, but like it was growing under my fucking pits. And I was like, everybody else is shaving, like why can't I? So I'm sitting there with scissors, like trying, because I'm trying to be socially acceptable at school here.
Yeah, you get bullied for shit like that.
I was already getting bullied. I was trying to not get bullied for something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Kids
I
are
was like,
savage.
fuck, man.
That shit lives with
I'm
you
like,
as well.
fuck.
That lives with
I
you.
know.
So like, if kids start to realize you've got hair anywhere that traditionally or at least socially you shouldn't have, you're gonna be known for the rest of the school semester and onwards as a girl who's fucking hairy. You don't need that
Yep.
shit. You don't need that shit. I cut my tip with a razor. Fuck. No, I've definitely cut my balls. I've definitely, because I use a razor.
Now, as an adult, like using a razor, well, not as an adult, but as a teenager, I have literally sliced open a lip with my shit. And when I tell you, I could have just ended my life right there and been done. Like,
Yeah.
the fucking pain that I felt, I was like, all right,
You're all
this
good,
is
Z.
it.
You're all good. So, pro tip for guys out there on shaving, if you want to clean shave like I do, is what you do is when you're in the shower, because I've got a shower head that can come off, but you could probably do it in the sink as well, is you put that on cold for just 10 seconds and you just spray your shit so all that shrivels up. Then you've got a nice tight service just to... Pro tip.
Pro tip I have for women, because I don't shave, is none. But the other pro tip that I have is either wax. Don't do it yourself. Take that from my personal experience. Don't do it yourself. And number two, I think it's the Philips One Blade. It's a green electric trimmer. First of all, guys, it's great for beards. Second of all, absolutely wonderful for a very close trim that almost feels shaved, but It's just a trim.
No pain.
No pain. But as far as self-waxing,
No, I would not wax. I've done that shit. Don't do it.
literally, when I tell y'all, okay, so I bought like the bead wax.
Yeah.
Like the hard wax that you put on and you pull off. Like I bought that for my legs. Okay, so I started using that. I've got a shit ton of it. I still use it. Like I use it on my legs and like sometimes I use it on my lip because I be getting like little hairs. And then like I have a magnifying mirror, so it makes me feel self-conscious that I have a mustache because like it zooms in times 10. So I see those hairs and I'm like I know they're blonde, like looking in any other mirror, but when I look in that mirror, I see like the smallest tinge of brown, and I'm like, they gotta go. But I got dumb as fuck one day, and I was like, I'm gonna try to wax my body.
Oh shit.
So I did my underarms. That was awful on myself, first of all. But I would do it again. It's not 10 out of 10. It's not that bad.
Yeah,
It's like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I've waxed my armpits. Like that shit ain't too.
Like it sucks. It sucks, but it's doable. But when I tell you, I fucked up. Let me just start there. I fully committed when I went to go wax my fupa. Well, I'm obviously I'm not some little skinny bitch. So fat upper pussy area for anybody that doesn't know what a fupa is.
Can I just want to put it out there? I fucking love a fupa. Just want to put it out there.
Okay, so I went to go wax my fupa and I fully fucking committed. I lathered that shit up with a fuck ton of wax, and I was like, I was ready. I'm like sitting there with my little popsicle stick, and I got it filled up with wax, and I like put it all over the whole fucking surface area of my fupa, and then I had to take it off because you put the wax on and then you take the wax off. Abso-fucking-lutely not. My soul left my body.
Yeah.
I had to rip that off, and like I think it took me almost an hour to get that whole strip off because I would hold my breath and then I'd yank a little bit and then I'd sit there for about 10 minutes going.
Like Will Ferrell in 40-Year-Old Virgin when he gets like waxed.
Yes,
yeah.
like when you're fully regretting everything you just did and you're sitting there like, God damn it! But you have to commit because there's nothing else you can do.
See, I did it with the
like
shits.
You're screwed.
You know the ones that you rub in your hand and warm up and then you separate them both like it's got to. I used that shit and I had to get in the shower because I did like my top half like above the dick.
Yep.
Got that off.
Yep.
Not too bad. It was bad, but it wasn't too bad. But then I thought that's not too bad. So what did I try and do? I tried doing my gooch. And anyone that doesn't know what a gooch is, it's the part between the balls and your asshole. That like for the girls that don't, you just below the balls, like underneath, like you moisturize, like rub that with your 2 fingers while you're sucking dick. Amazing. Your guy will come within like 30 seconds.
Can confirm.
So yeah, I tried to wax that shit. Yeah, nah. I had to get in the shower and wash that off. That shit was. Yeah, still to this day is bad.
And also education for anybody wondering the taint and the gooch. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
just 2 fingers.
You can just use one. You don't need to.
No. I'm a big guy though, so like
Oh my god.
I need both. I need both.
You're a mess.
So. What we got next, Brit, before we go out?
That is all I've got. It's on you now.
All we got. Right, let's do what we talked about. Kink of the week, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, hold on, I can pull up. I can pull up one.
So, I've got. This is actually a good one. This is a good one.
I found a kink generator so that we can. I didn't know if I had told you about this, but I found a kink generator that literally just randomly generates a kink that we can talk about.
All right, let's do that. Let's do that instead then, because this will come up. Let's just do completely random, and we can quickly cover it before we go out.
So I have Googled this.
Someone used
And
toothpaste instead of moisturizer to shave their dick. That is... Wow. Anyway, yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, so this kink generator has generated the first kink, and it is ankle fetish.
Ankle fetish.
hmm
I could get on board with that.
So, Urban Dictionary says that it is the pure admiration and attraction to bare, uncovered ankles.
So the
And
attraction...
go ahead.
Just because I'd be like, like when you're like, when you be fucking or you about to like go down on a woman, you might like kiss from like their ankles, because the ankle is actually an erogenous zone. So you like kiss from the ankle through to like, especially like on the back of the Achilles, it's very sensitive. So you might nibble on it a little bit as well, and you work your way up. So I could see it. I don't think I've
So, Wikipedia says that it falls into the leg fetishism.
I do like some legs.
It's a sexual interest that focuses on the legs, and it covers everything, thighs, knees, shins, calves, ankles. So,
Is
that
is
your-
actually a name? Is there actually a name for it?
it says that it's just ankle fetish.
There's gotta
Let's
be a fucked up name for it.
let me see what Reddit has to say.
But
Let me see what Reddit has to say.
I could see it. I do like
Literally,
something.
somebody on Reddit said, "I think I just got an ankle fetish. Any thoughts?"
No, because
First-
I can see it. There's a thing about some well-defined ankles, but I like legs. Like I like thighs.
First fucking comment says you'd fit in well with the Amish.
I love that.
So all I'm seeing, like, whenever you look up ankle fetish, is just stuff that's bringing up the ankle bracelet, like bondage things.
I fuck with that. I fuck with that. By the way, before we head out, we are working on getting some guests on from other communities as well. So fetish communities, adult content creative communities. So if you know anyone and they would like the promotion that this would bring, especially like say adult content creators, men and women, we are completely on board with platforming those individuals. We want to speak to everybody. If you know someone who's got if you've got someone who's got a fucked up fetish that they'd be willing to come talk about or want to submit it, again, hit us in the Discord, hit us in the DMs, and we'll get calling. Squee says he's got someone. 100% Squee, especially like I said, people who we can help platform, because we are definitely pro sex worker on this side. So we are completely advocates for people who choose to be sex workers, OnlyFans stars, adult content creators in general. We support that. We are with you. 100% Sweet.
Yeah.
Hit her up. Get her to DM Brit.
So-
Brit will definitely book her on.
So yeah, anybody that's got anything, you've got my username. It's the same on all platforms. You can message anywhere, whether it be Discord, Whispers on Twitch. You can send me a message on Twitter. You can send me a message on Cash App with a donation. Just throwing that out there.
You can also follow Brit on OnlyFans. It's something like Bootylicious, something or other.
Bodacious.
There she go. I don't know. I don't subscribe. She'd be like, you don't support me. You can.
You don't love me.
You can drop it in the drop it in my thingy. I'll pin it for the last 5 minutes.
I'm not.
Where is Misfit when I need him?
Right? He's always got it, bro. He's doing military shit this weekend, remember?
Oh yeah. Rue's got a thing for backs. Okay.
Okay, so to follow up on what Catch said, feet aren't included because it's primarily apparently meant for people that don't really fuck with feet, but they're okay with literally ankle and above.
I'll do anything. I'll suck on your toes, your ankles, and your earlobes.
You heard it here first, guys. He's an
I
earlobe guy.
I do like a bite in the girl's ears. Anyway.
Stop.
And anyway. Anyway. I think we've done 3 hours. We were talking about doing 2 hours. We've done 3 hours. So to round out, before we do the whole wrapping up and promote ourselves, we will be doing this every week.
Yep. Every Saturday.
Every Saturday from 7 p.m. GMT, roughly 1 p.m. EST.
It's 1 p.m. Central.
Central, 2 p.m.
And it is almost 4 p.m. Central right now,
Yeah.
so.
But anything you want to submit, like I said, Discord or DM Brit, we'll book you on, we will book your story on, whatever you want to do.
Literally anything that you want to talk about, it's there, dude. We're talking about any and everything.
100%. But
Thank you for the follow, Catch.
oh, my boy Catch. In fact, I don't think someone shouted you out, Catch. But Bestie, where can everyone find you? Where can they follow you?
Everybody can find me, your girl Brit69. You can come check out my stream. I have a Discord as well that we also do some fun shit. I also play COD with Deli on days that we're not doing a little talk show. I play COD, and I also play Rust. If you're into survival games, I'm looking for more people to join in on there and come have some fucking fun, because we're amazing over there.
She's got a lit server. So if you are into Rust, please support her.
It's lit as fuck, guys. Like, we have a blast over there. But literally, you can find me anywhere by your girl Brit69, and you can probably see me most days bullshitting in Deli streams. So. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Rue.
And Rue is one of my favourites. I'll be back on the COD in a few days. Appreciate Squee. So
get your ass in there, Goku. I'll teach you. I'll teach you everything.
She really will. And then, like I said, you can follow her on OnlyFans and she'll show you some other things. As you all know, I'm DeliMeat18. You can follow me on Twitch, DeliMeat18. You can follow me on Twitter, IG, TikTok, all of that at The Meat Gaming. It's the crew, TMGC. But for now, I think this has been a fucking success. I want to thank everybody who has contributed, everyone that's lurked, everyone that's watched. You can watch everyone this all week on Twitch. All of that. But for now, we've got to raid out, and I think it's only right, and I'm going to say it because we support the fuck out of her, but it is Lovely Damage's birthday today, so I think it's only right that we raid into her. But
she raided out.
Fuck off. How did she get off already?
Yeah.
Well.
She just raided out. I was going to do the fucking same.
Ain't no way. Yeah, she's raided into Rain. Ain't no way. Well, we've got to find a new raid target, and it's only right that we raid out together. So who do you want to raid, Bestie? I'll let you choose this week, and then maybe I choose next week.
I'm going for Mike.
Oh, of course you're fucking going for Mike. Okay. I'm gonna be playing with him in a minute.
Anyway. I was about to say, do you not want to go to Mike? What the fuck's wrong with Mike?
No, nothing's wrong with him. I'm just saying,
I will say though, like, you guys can catch me later today because I'm kind of feeling the whole streaming thing today. I'm probably gonna be streaming some Rust later, so if you'd like to learn about that or if you're interested in checking it out,
I'll be there. I'm going to play COD with Mike in a minute on some ranked. But we're going to go raid him now, apparently. So
yeah, because some fucking bitch can't stay live for her goddamn birthday.
I know she's going out for some dinner with her kids. But, I mean, it's her loss because we've got the best community. So, really.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, she knows.
Love you, Pop. Love you. Thank you so much for your support today. It's meant the world. We'll be back next week.
So, I appreciate all you guys being here. We are going to Mike Can't Be Like Mike, Michael, a.k.a. Daddy Mike.
Yo.
Self-proclaimed. He calls himself Daddy Mike,
really
by
does.
the way. I think it's funny as fuck. He's also amazing at fucking COD.
He
so
really is.
Go check him out and watch him carry Deli, because Deli's trash.
Facts. So we'll be back next Sunday from 7 p.m.
Saturday.
GMT, Saturday.
It's okay, don't worry about him. I got him.
1 p.m. CST, 2 p.m. EST, something like that. And then we've also got the Mordor time zone, but I don't know what that is.
The mountain time zone?
Yeah.
The one that doesn't exist?
But keep an eye on all our Twitters because we'll be announcing the next episode and what the subject matter is going to be.
Yup.
But for now, we appreciate you all. We love you all. I think we fucking out here.
Yeah, we out here, dog.
What a fucking episode.
Bro, right? I'm gonna just give it a second, let it play out.
Yeah, me too. Just playing some music.
That's what I do.
Are you ready? Oh, one sec. Let me get him up.
Hola, what's happening? No cap in
Yeah,
my
get him up
caption.
so that we can go over there.
Hola, what's happening? No cap in my caption. Got a little baddie and she texting for the addy, cause I got a little thing for when a bitch get ratchet. The
Ready?
ratchets love snow. Soy la mexicana con tremendo
No.
flow.
Go.
Tengo todo el control. Cierra los ojos, baby, let's go, 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 go. Hola, what's happening? No cap in my caption. Got a little baddie and she texting for the addy, cause I got a little thing for when a bitch get ratchet. The ratchets love snow. Soy la mexicana con tremendo flow. Tengo todo el control. Cierra los ojos, baby, let's go, 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 go. Hola, buenas noches. Yo me llamo Snow por si no me conocen. Yo ya tengo tiempo que le meto, pero con todo respeto ya llegó la hora que llegue con un golpe. Tengo whatever cuando quiero lo que se antoje. Quiero dinero para que los haters se enojen. Soy de San José como los tigres del norte. Traigo tanta feria que la bolsa se me rompe. I bet I could pull a little rapper out of Cloud9. Make a diss record with a free translation. You see me, bet your knees be shaking. That's why I'm on the throne and the seat's amazing. Tengo mucho flow, dicen Snow that's crazy. Yo les digo claro, pero tengo un baby. Así que en inglés o español es lo mismo en los dos. Hasta enseña, fuck you, pay me. Cause ya llegó la mexicana, la mera la nena. Que todos pensaban nada was ever gonna happen and they wanted a bitch to fall off. But tada, pop back up, eso no se acaba. Tengo concholos en un pinche empada. Beat your ass, make your bitch a piñata. Should've known better, I'm a michoacana. La reina es el reino, Beatriz Adriana. Yo represento la comunidad que está cansada de raperos que no saben rapear. Que solamente con sus joyas es que saben brillar. Que no tienen estrella propia, solo saben copiar. Son bola de mamones con su dinero de papá. Que con su bla 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 siempre cayendo mal. Y raperas que me conocen me están tirando sal. Pero Visa dijo que le meta, so I'm killing them all. And I got good and plenty, I know bitches couldn't get me. I'm acting a fool if any bitches wanna catch this fade. Súbele a mí que yo soy la dura que te dio solo dos rutas. Tírame o si quieres hazte, wey. Díganme si con más lumbre que por costumbre. Mato yo el track, no acepto no two-face hoes that been true.